Stuttering John has played many practical jokes on BabaBooey.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, the stealing of the Gary puppet.
Gary took the Gary puppet to an appearance. Lo and behold, Stuttering John stole it, and I had told Gary, don't you lose that puppet, because I love that puppet more than I love you.
Right, the puppet was pretty much new at the time. And
very popular.
You made it clear that you didn't want anything to happen to this puppet.
No, I didn't.
And now
John went and stole it, and Gary had a heart attack.
Has anybody seen the puppet anywhere?
And then John had a stockbroker call and say that I lost all my money.
Right, which was a real good one.
And then, you know, I was feeling like, remember I called you on Sunday and said it's time to do this joke? I went back and took some old E-tapes out. I watched the Learning Annex. Remember where that thing? Now, John didn't think of that, but you were pretty much done with me when John came in to explain to you how boring I was.
Yeah.
To prolong it another 20 minutes. John, could you do it?
I wouldn't want to do this. So.
Could you though?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. I mean, look. What? I can't tell that.
He could bore people for 2 hours.
I can tell him how I used to drive a truck for wholesale tire.
Yeah.
The reason we didn't pull all that rap about him working at Fridays and stuff, it was so boring. We sat back there and we're going, you know, should we pull it? You know, we could pull it to show how boring it was, but we're like, oh, it's just too boring. Forget it.
Yeah, if it's boring, are people going to sit and listen to it?
Right. That whole rap from all his boring jobs was at least like 20 minutes to a half hour. It was just so boring.
And then I came in around 5:30, and the busboys were putting the plates on the tables. And then I watched as they made the coleslaw. It was quite fascinating. But I knew it wasn't for me. I had to move on.
So Gary said, I really want to get John. And Gary came to me, he says, I'm going to fire John. Because I know it's not funny. But I
really want to fire him.
I want to fire him and watch that bastard squirm. I said, all right, I'm in. What do I got to do? He says, you just get on the air and say you're mad at John. Which I did.
Effectively.
Hey, and you know what? While I was sick, I changed my opinion about a lot of people around here, particularly some of the interns. And I got news for you. I called Gary last night. There's a couple of people who've been doing things behind my back. I'm cleaning house around here as soon as I get healthy.
Stuff going on?
Gary's going to clean some house for me, and then I'm going to clean some house for myself. There's plenty of shenanigans going on when I'm not here.
Really?
Even when I'm here, there's shenanigans.
But I didn't do anything.
Well, you talked to Stuttering John.
For a change.
And that's all I'm going to say about it. So John was bumming out all the show yesterday after I said I was mad at him.
Right, yeah, because you put the final touches on it yesterday.
And John knows I actually am mad at him on some level.
Yeah.
Well, that's why
John's always conniving and scheming behind my back.
I'm not conniving, but that's why it was so effective, because I know that you've been upset with all this Howard Stern show crew and all.
So Gary hauls John in after the show. Gary has like a little 10-minute meeting with me to make like we had a discussion. And he calls John into the room.
Kathy calls me first and goes, Gary wants you to stay here before you leave because he needs to talk to you before you leave. So I'm like, oh no.
You knew something bad.
Yeah, I'm like,
but you didn't think you were going to get fired.
That's like the principal.
Well, I started getting a sweat. I'm sweating. You know, I was freaking out.
But you didn't think you were going to be fired.
Well, yeah, I thought it was either that or just another another dose of another way of being reprimanded.
Well, you also said something yesterday about cleaning house. Gary was going to do some house cleaning.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah. So you fell for it too, Robin.
I didn't fall for anything.
Oh,
she was hoping it was real.
Real fire.
Yeah, great.
All right, so here we go. So Gary brings John into the room, and
Now this happened in the Jock Lounge because I kept seeing the door closed.
Yeah.
We had a hidden camera in those big speakers that we keep on the floor.
Oh.
And the premise was that John had some wacky book proposal going around in his name that had my name all over it. And I had caught wind of it, for real. And I got really pissed off about it. So Gary went in there to say, hey, it turns out that the book proposal showed its ugly head again somewhere. And basically Gary was sent in by me to be fired because I didn't want to fire him. I didn't want to fire John myself. It would be too painful, so Gary was going to do it.
Gary's your hatchet man.
Right.
And Gary played it really well, because he was almost looked like he was going to cry too.
All right, well, here we go. He was upset for you.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
And Gary had said to me, listen, after I fire him, let's not tell him for a couple of days. So I said, you want to know something? I think John would be so bummed out that he might kill himself.
Right, yeah.
I could have.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Responsible for a death. I couldn't let that happen.
I said, don't let him leave. I mean, fire him, leave the room, and then come back in and tell him because he'll kill himself.
I would definitely have reached for that jar of Prozac.
Right. I didn't want to hear about the binge he went on for 3 days. And afterwards, Gary walked into the office proud as a peacock.
I got them both.
Well, it worked so good.
I work so hard, and there's always a chance that something can go wrong. He could see the camera, someone could spill it. You try to tell as few people as possible.
All right, here we go.
Well, I know Gary's been working up to this for weeks.
I know, bothering me.
I thought of this.
Calling me every day.
I thought of this the Friday before we went on Christmas vacation.
And by the way, it's not even creative. It's like, hey, I'm going to take John in a room and fire him.
I mean,
and watch him get upset.
No,
it's not creative at all.
It's not creative, but the setup has to be done right, and I did have to run the cable through the ceiling so the camera worked.
Right.
But the only thing is, like, what's next? Telling me I have cancer. It's the only thing that could be worse.
All right, well, we'll get to that. We got to figure out a funny way to do it.
Where does the cable have to be run?
Yeah. Up his butt. All right, here we go.
Shut the door. I'm wired, by the way.
Yeah. I know.
Sit down.
Is that you whispering? Like, sit down.
What is that all about? He's
What are you,
like De Niro.
Are you nervous or something?
Let me tell you something. This is so elaborate that I had Kathy come and put papers on every chair except for the one I wanted John to sit in.
Right.
Yeah, those boxes. No, that's why that
We
was.
put boxes on everything, so John could only sit in the one chair.
Right, because you had a camera.
We would get the best camera.
That was
angle.
smart.
Well, sit down and I'll tell you.
What I do.
So,
What I do.
Guilty.
Guilty already.
I guess, remember that whole thing that went on like at Christmas time?
You sound nervous yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That's why I'm like, oh,
But that's
man.
great because Gary would have terrible time firing somebody.
I told him, I said,
Not really.
I don't know if we left it in at one point. I go, John, my heart's pounding. That's when he knew something was wrong.
When you called me about the book.
Yeah,
right? About the whole book, and you said you weren't doing everything. My heart's fucking pounding. Somehow it ended up on Buckwald's desk, right? This whole proposal, right? And I sat down with Howard, and I told him that. You know what I'm saying? I said, I called you about this a couple of months ago, but like Buckwald flipped over it. He flipped over it.
Buckwald's my agent.
Yeah.
So, Gary blamed it that Buckwald was flipping out, which is good. So Buckwald's flipping out. Howard then learned of it. He's flipping out. And John's panicking.
And Gary's heart's pounding.
Yeah. And Gary sounds like the one being fired.
When did it end up on Buckwald's desk?
Sometime last week.
How could that be?
I have no idea. But Buckwald flipped over it, and Howard flipped over it.
I have it on paper. A firing of that guy as soon as Christmas that thing happened.
I know.
He sounds like Kato Kaler.
Listen to him stutter.
Listen to him explaining himself.
Well, at least
I don't know.
I fired that guy.
I have it on paper.
No one even knows what he's talking about. You never know what John's talking about. You never know what he's talking about.
All non sequiturs.
Right? And you had no idea what he was talking about.
I had a vague idea, but...
Yeah, I got to hear that again.
I'm saying I fired the guy ever since that fiasco.
Yeah, well, that's not exactly clear. It's like... Hey, John, can you explain that to me?
I don't understand.
Listen to this.
How could that be?
Yeah, right. Yeah, listen to this explanation again. But
I have no idea. But Buckwald flipped over it, and Howard flipped over it.
I have it on paper. A firing of that guy as soon as Christmas that thing happened.
I know.
I fired on paper.
I got fired.
He said he fired on paper.
He has keywords: fired, paper, Christmas.
I know.
And I just go, I know.
Yeah, I know. I know.
No, you don't.
No one knows. You don't even know what he's saying.
Christmas happened.
Fire, Christmas, paper. I don't get it. Fire, Christmas happened. Soon as Christmas, that thing happened.
Fire.
That's what Cato does. Because you know what? That's Cato. Why do people want to slam this Cato's head into his screen? I'm watching TV, and I swore I'm never watching. I'm telling you.
Did you watch it again?
I happen to tune by it, and this. Marsha Clark is angry.
Yes.
And the woman comes on, the commentator. She says, "Why is Marsha Clark angry? Why is she spending all this time with Cato Kaler?" I go, "You don't know why? What are you, stupid?"
Greta Van Susteren?
I don't know. One of them, the Yenta from Fox. They're sitting there and let her get on with it. It's like, what are you talking about? This guy is telling you in the one breath that, OJ was a little upset.
And he's changing testimony.
Of course, he's obviously not being
forthcoming.
Like John.
They're the paper.
I mean, this is exactly what Kato Kalin says. The paper. The paper. I fired the paper. Wait, I got to hear that again. This is too good.
And Howard flipped over it.
Yeah, I have it on paper. I'm firing of that guy as soon as Christmas that thing happens.
I know. And
I know.
I don't know if like Howard's trying to make an example or something, but I think that like he's just sort of like, he told me he's going to come in and talk to you, but basically he told me like he's going to let you go. Although he said he'd still use you for interviews and stuff from time to time. But I think that I couldn't really say anything because I feel like my ass is on the line. You know, I'm treading on dangerous water myself, and I couldn't really say anything because
I'm treading on dangerous water myself.
He's barely as coherent as I am.
I know. It's two incoherent guys with a job.
What is Gary talking about?
It's like, Gary has to fire you, but he's not clear why he's firing you, and you're not clear on what your answer is.
I think Howard's going to talk to you, and he's going to let you go, but he will use you on interviews occasionally.
But see, I knew that was a write-off. Like,
that was just being nice.
Yeah, he'll never hear from you again.
Meanwhile, Gary's treading himself.
He's treading on thin water.
I'm treading, Wolf.
I'm skating on thin water.
I'm doing a dog paddle.
I'm skating on thin water.
Somehow that never sounds right when he uses those
never
words.
Gets him quite right.
He's always like, I'm treading on dangerous water.
But he's
always treading.
Isn't it treading on, what is it?
He's actually, you're skating on thin ice is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, and treading on what?
Where there's smoke, there's wall paint.
You're treading
on dangerous ground. Would that be it?
No. Treading on
thin water.
I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Dangerous ground.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Maybe that's it.
It always sounds wrong.
Jerry always.
I thought it was just treading water. You know, I'm treading water.
I don't know. I don't know what he's saying.
Well, hey, listen, I wouldn't attempt it if I didn't know.
As stupid as I am, your choice is bad.
Gary's treading. John's treading.
Fire Christmas paper.
Hassling me about the T-shirt and about what went on in Dallas and what went on in Atlantic City and stuff. And you know, he just said, "Listen, I think John's a great guy, but it's just too much." He goes, "It's just too much. He's out there doing." But you know what it is? I think it's not Laura's end. You know, it's not the book. It's everything that led up to it, and this is just like tips it off. And
tips it off.
You're right. You know, you're absolutely right. It's not
just tips it off. Gary is full of non sequiturs.
I'm just trying to make. I'm just.
What are you trying to say there?
Mr. Cliche.
Tipped it over the edge is what I meant to say.
Oh.
This
just tips it off.
I'm skating on thin ice, and this just tips it off.
But I think that
I think he's trying to say
last call.
But we called him about that too.
But he was really unhappy about that the way that turned out. I just think that he feels like we're all like hanging on his name and stuff. I can't. I mean, I'm flipped out because you're like one of my best friends, and what can I say?
And I'm going to be sorry to see you go.
What can I say? You know, I said, hey, give him one more chance. And Howard's like, one more chance. You know, he's like, listen, he goes, it's not only me.
You're a real pussy. Why don't you just fire the guy?
Yeah, why did you say you're going to come talk to him?
Everything Howard.
Well, because I'm not firing him.
But if you ever have to fire him, you fire him.
I will fire him.
No, don't blame Howard. I want him.
Let me ask you something. Why is he saying Howard's going to talk to John?
It's all coming up, Rob. Why don't you listen to the end?
Come on, give the guy a break.
I just wanted to know.
Because we're listening. Because at one point...
It's part of his way of revealing.
No. And at one point, Robin, be quiet.
I'm talking to Howard.
At one point, Howard was actually going to come and watch it on the monitor, and he thought he might come in.
Yeah, no, this was a setup. This was a setup.
All right.
And also, it keeps John hanging around. We didn't want him leaving.
Right.
It's Don. They just feel like it's almost like as if you're dangerous, that you can't be controlled. They feel like everybody, even me and you and Gorilla and everybody's out there doing stuff, and it's just bumming them out. And I know he said he would send you out on some interviews, possibly in the future. I mean, I think he's going to cool off about this. I don't know what'll happen, but I know tonight he's not going to send you out on that thing. I guess he's going to send Grillo. And he told me to get a hold of Vic.
Stuttering Vic.
Oh. That's the clincher.
I don't know what to say. I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't know, man. 7 years I've been here. I don't know what the fuck to do.
It's his career. 7 years. 7 years.
7 years of my life.
Oh, man.
100%? You bought it 100%?
Yeah, he bought it 100%.
See, Gorilla told me before I went in, Johnny, maybe it's an April Fool's joke, but I said, nah, Howard wouldn't sit on the air and all that. This is definitely not an April Fool's joke.
Yes.
I tried to do everything.
You know what the problem is? I mean, I could smell it coming for one of us.
I could smell it.
I guess it's, I mean,
it was always smelling stuff.
Smell it coming because it was tipping it off.
In the water.
The water was
when
thin.
I was skating on thin ground.
On thin water.
Just as easily, it could have just as easily been me. Hold on a second. I know he wants to come down. I mean, he doesn't want this to be hard feelings, so he wants to come down, and he's going to come down and just hang, you know, just like...
That's me faking that I'm dialing the phone to get him to come down.
Yeah, we're in the guest lounge. All right, cool. He's going to come down. He just wants to, like, you know how Howard is. He doesn't like confrontation, but I think he appreciates what you've done over the years.
Not really.
I think he wants to, I think he just wants to give you a good send off.
What am I going to do?
Well, listen, if I were you, I'd be cool. And just shake his hand and be cool, because you don't slam any doors. You know what I'm saying?
He's going to trash me in the air, and then
at some point he's going to have to say, discuss it, but I don't think he'll hammer you. I mean, he'll just say, hey, you know what? We did our time together, and it just, became a part. I mean, one thing Howard's really cool about, he wouldn't trash you because he knows that you're going to try to go out there and make a living and stuff and do something.
I don't know what the fuck right now.
Maybe you can hook up with Conan, get rid of that guy that's...
No, God, it's fucking...
All right. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
I'd rather not work.
So now I leave,
yeah,
right? And then I come back and I tell him that you don't want to talk to him.
Oh, good, okay.
I'm sorry, man. Don't hold this against me.
No.
So I walked out and then I come right back.
He's getting fired from a job he makes no money at.
And he's bummed.
Yeah.
Thought he was going to come down, but he's not going to come down. He said, but he's not mad, I
just don't have time to say goodbye.
Oh, man. I swear to God, I tried to do everything. I didn't want to do anything, at all. I mean, this.
Well, how are you? I mean, you're in pretty good shape, financially, right? I mean, I know you're in an apartment and stuff, but I mean, you're doing okay in the stock market and stuff.
Not really. After this fiasco, I don't even have. The only guy we have is Adam.
Right.
What do you say?
He said the only guy we have is Adam. We just had some trouble in the stock market, John and I, earlier.
This is all perfect. Everything's going on here.
John just took a hint, so that's not working out for him.
Even his stock market isn't working.
Yeah, and then I was with my brother all weekend. He was yelling at me for paying too much for an apartment. So it's like all just coming in my head, like, oh no.
Like, no, I really screwed up.
Right, but I mean,
the little money you had from this show is not even coming in.
And you still have the deal. You still have the other record deal, right? And you got the publishing deal and stuff. You still got all that stuff.
That's done now. That's just give you one advance.
But I mean, you're going to do another record, right?
I don't know. Depends on what I fucking
Right now he's not on the show.
But I'm telling him, at least you got this, and he doesn't have any of it.
Yeah. So it turns out he has nothing.
But now, he's down to mumbling.
At this point, I'm in the fetal position.
Really?
Yeah. I'm curled up on the couch.
I can't wait to watch this on the E! Show.
Because I saw it out sitting up, and I slowly cowered.
I don't know, man. My clothes are rented, man. All of a sudden, the ugly truth comes out.
It's not my own teeth.
It's all a pyramid scheme. It's all crumbling.
I don't know, man.
It's just, I really try to do everything by the book. I went up to him, I talked to him, he told me don't do it. I fucking called them. They and they sent me some proposal. It was fucking all that I told them not to do. I called them. I said, dude, this you can't do. Sent them a letter, fucking firing. I still have a letter firing the guy.
You still have the letter?
Yeah, and I don't know how this could have happened. I don't know how that could have got anywhere. I have a letter firing the guy, and then I called you that weekend. I told you what had happened.
Right, that was like Christmas time.
And I called Robin. Remember, she yelled at me.
She freaked out on you.
And then you talked to Howard, and then he said, "We'll talk." All right, and then.
What do you think Karen's going to say? She's going to be bummed out.
Goodbye. Goodbye. It's so long. I'm not your girlfriend anymore.
I go with the show.
Let's be with Grillo.
Yeah, I'm dating Grillo now.
I think your best bet is to sort of regroup, take it easy. I don't know what's going to go on in this, and I could tell you if I could give you 2 words of advice.
Uh-oh! Here comes his reveal.
Here comes a soliloquy. 2 words.
He's gonna now show him the camera. Right. You should have had him suffer more.
I know, but it was.
Yeah, he's not twisting enough.
He's twisting pretty good.
If I could give you 2 words of advice, don't brush, and then you get bad teeth, and someone else will hire you like they hire me.
So the camera's in the speaker, and I said, if I give you 2 words of advice, and I pull the speaker down so you can see the camera, and I say this.
I think the best 2 words I can give you is Gary Puppet.
Gary's so proud of that. He goes, Gary Puppet.
I know. It's like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, right. Like, hey, Gary Puppet, Wolf.
Gary Puppet.
I have 2 words of advice. Gary Puppet.
I have 2 words of advice. You can smell it coming.
You're a dick, man.
No, you're a dick. You're a dick because you got me fucking twice. And now you know what it feels like to be on the shit end.
Hey,
Planet,
you know what?
We're done.
Great joke.
We're
It's a great joke. I mean, I'm not going to hate you for the rest of your life like you hate me.
Come on back here. Come on. I've been planning this since Christmas, and I wasn't even gonna do this to you. And then, after you stole the puppet, I was thinking of a way to get back here. I wasn't even gonna do this to you, and then you did the thing where I lost all my money. Now,
what thing?
With the stockbroker. Sit down, man. And I didn't leave you hanging all week. We were going to leave you hanging for a day. Howard thought that was too cruel. So I let your entire misery lasted 10.5 minutes.
No, my entire misery started around 9:30.
But okay, all right. My entire misery was an entire weekend long.
You were still like in shock, weren't you?
Yeah, I couldn't snap out of this.
You weren't even
thing.
sure if you were fired still.
Yeah, I was in like a cocoon.
All right.
Yeah, because he still doesn't sound happy.
No, not at all. Now I don't know whether
Just get your job back. You don't even celebrate.
I don't know whether to hate Gary or I don't know how to handle it.
Yeah. You don't know what to say. Because Gary immediately goes, okay, now we're even, and we're never playing practical jokes on each other again. And I know John's already planning his next
got
one.
something up his sleeve.
Well, I already got another one for John.
Because John came down with me yesterday and said, guess what I'm going to do? And he already told me his next one, and it's awful. It
was the one that I refrained from doing because I thought it would be too cruel.
Yeah.
Well, I got another one for you. I was going to get you with 2 since you got me with 2, but I let it be.
Right. He has another one planned on you, so.
An awesome one.
Yeah.
It's going to get to the point where they'll be shooting at each other.
Yeah, right. See, Gary hired a hitman to come kill you. But it's only a goof.
And then another whole day when I thought I lost all my money.
But how? But it was Gary.
What's wrong?
It was Jackie's idea to fuck with the fucking Gary Puppet.
But isn't this funny?
It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's perfect.
And then what? Is that it? Are we done?
Well,
or now you got to get me back?
No, I mean, my next one's going to be on Scotty. You already know that.
Okay, but you done with me now?
Is that right? You got one on Scott coming up?
Yeah.
The cruelest of all.
Really? Shh, don't say it. I want to hear it.
Of course, he won't be looking for it now.
No. It wouldn't matter. What's funny to me is Scott will have to dub it off, whatever.
Yeah. Scott will have to make a copy of it so it'll be ready for the air.
Fast.
That's pretty funny, John.
Yeah.
Especially your explanation to Gary.
On Christmas paper, on fire.
Now, John, if it's five,
this happens.
If it's 5 practical jokes to 1, why would you be planning another one?
Because that's what he does.
Well, no, on the tape, on the tape, I said, I go, well, if Howard wants me to stop doing them, I'll stop doing them.
Oh yeah, like Howard's feeding you the ideas.
No, but
you get an idea.
Do what you want to do. I don't care.
They just occurred naturally to John.
No, John gets an idea and he goes to Howard. Howard goes, yeah, do whatever you want.
I don't even want to know about it. Just do it.
John takes that as if Howard's giving him the money and funding him.
Yeah. Yeah. I got those guys on tape now.
Yes, sir.
So whenever I do my speeches now, I could have guys in the background. I don't have to have Fred pretending to be a black man.
Yes, sir.
What about that guy who went,
Yeah. That's a hard one to get.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Hey, Fred, you want to work these? Here. Let me just try it once with those guys. I know I'll be dynamic.
See, I think you're really getting into this. You like preaching.
I do. I love it. I would. This is what I want to do when I get out of radio.
You have a calling.
I have a calling. Now, we've been receiving word that a lot of women feel left out of this so-called counting that I have been talking about this morning.
Yes, sir.
Now, it's true that women have 10 fingers and 10 toes. And it is true that a man can count to 21 with his penis. What do a woman do when she goes in the store? What does she do? What is she going to do? Now, what if someone says to her, ma'am, that'll be $22. She got 10 digits and 10 toes. That make 20.
Yes, sir.
Now, how do she get to 22? Does she open her shirt and count one breast as 21 and another breast as 22? Now, if she have her period, she can open her pants and she can count the tampon string and get to 23.
Yes, sir.
Now, if a couple goes shopping, 21 plus 23 will be 44.
How do you know that?
How do you know that? That's a good question. I don't want to do this anymore. I did this all morning. If you don't have a period, well, then you're out of luck. You only go up to 43. Thank you.
You gotta take your wife with you shopping because you're going over 20.
Right. See, that's my Million Man March. Maybe I ought to hold a Million Man March and get up and give a speech. See everybody zoning out during it. Imagine if I could get 1 million people together and then I had a big rally and the media was forced to cover it because the first time
because
1 million...
it's so big, yes.
Yeah, 1 million men, and I get up there and I start doing a speech.
They wouldn't be whispering.
I mean, yeah, they wouldn't be whispering.
They wouldn't even be covering. They could care less.
Howard Stern is getting up to speak. I would like to say number one.
Yes, sir.
Number one. What is number one? And what is 1 plus 1? That's 2.
Yes, sir.
And 2 is a dress worn by a so-called white ballerina when she dances this ballet. Now, 2 is a dress. 1 is the number that we all want to achieve. 20 is the number of digits you have, and depending on your sex, whether you're a man, you have 21 digits. If you're a woman, you have 22 digits. If you're a woman with a period, you have 23 digits. Now,
oh, dear.
Someone asked me just the other day, what about your ears? Can you count with your ears? Well, yes, you can. That could be considered a so-called digit.
Yes, sir.
I mean, who came up with the word digit? The white man. He's the one who said your fingers is only a digit. He never said your penis or your breast or your tampon string could be a digit. So who's to say that a black man cannot use his ears as digits?
Yes,
go ahead. Use your ears. That's what I said. Go use your ears when you walk into a store and you see a Korean. And you see a Korean standing there saying, hey, man, give me some money. Give me some money.
Yes,
like you some kind of Uncle Tom idiot who's going to just hand over your money. Like you don't know how to give change. Now you got the secret to giving change. No Korean could take your money again. Now, so you walk in, you got your 20 digits, you got your penis, 21, you got your 2 ears.
Yes, sir.
That's 23. Now, you got your beautiful black woman on your arm. Now you got the power of 20 more digits, 2 breasts, and a tampon string.
Yes, sir.
Now that's 23, and she got her 2 ears. Now this is real computing power. You don't need the white man's calculator. Thank God Almighty, you don't need the white man's calculator anymore. You're already up somewhere around 50 without any calculator made by any kind of white man.
Yes, sir.
Now go ahead and use your ears. Use your ears. And what about your elbows? What about it? Do we dare think about our elbows? This is stuff they don't want you talking about. This is stuff they don't teach you in school. They tell you don't count on your fingers, don't count on your toes, don't use your ears, don't use your tampon string, and don't use your elbows. That's what they tell you.
Yes, sir.
I had a white teacher. Her name was Miss Chippy. Miss Chippy, old white woman. And what did Miss Chippy used to tell us?
Yes, sir.
Don't you count on your ears. And being somewhat naive, I listened. I listened to this white woman.
Yes, sir.
And she told me, don't count on your ears. And what do, Mr. Stern? I said, I won't count on my ears then. Fine. Wasn't 2 years later when I joined the Nation of Islam that I realized I could use my ears, that my ears were there. Using them just to hear.
Yes, sir.
Then I started thinking about my elbows. I started thinking about my nostrils. What about your nostrils? Those are 2. Woman has them, man has them. Why not use them as your human computer?
What about your teeth?
Your teeth? Now, depending on who you are and what kind of dentistry has been available to you. Let me sum it up.
Yes, sir.
This is the lesson you're not gonna get when you're sitting at home watching TV. Because who runs TV? The Jews. And they're all proud of themselves. They don't use their fingers and toes. They got their fancy Jew calculators. They don't want us learning the secret of how they count the change. Because once we know how to count the change, ain't gonna be too long before we got all the money. Because you get more change, you get more money. How many of you gone into a store and the Korean says to you, $5, here's your change, when you knew it was $10, but you couldn't prove it? Then the cops come and you can't prove it because you don't use your digits. Now, had you used your digits, you would have been able to get your money. Now, gonna review. You're a man, 20 digits. Fingers, toes, 1 penis, 2 ears, 2 elbows, 2 nostrils, that's 27.
Yes, sir.
If you're a woman, you got 20 digits again, 2 breasts, 2 ears, 2 elbows, 2 nostrils, and 1 tampon string, that's 29. 29 and 27 is what?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Women 29, men 27. Now, man, if you reach down deep enough, use your balls. Then you're up to 29, and it's a tie. Black man, black woman walks into a store with 29 digits apiece, using a man's testicles. Now you're talking power, computing power, equality. Now the white man doesn't look all that threatening, does he? 29 and 29 equals 75. Now, prove me wrong.
Calculator's right.
That was a quick adjustment.
Yes, sir.
It don't matter what it means or what the numbers add up to as long as you got the computing power.
Yes, sir.
So go back to your community. Tell them what you learned. Talk about it on the street. Talk about your ears. Talk about your elbows. And don't listen to the so-called white man when he tells you not to use your elbows.
What about your knees?
Your knees. Use your knees. Go ahead. Be wild. Use your knees. Why? Because some white man tell you not to count with your knees. You can't. When it comes to going shipping, and when you go shopping in one of these big supermarkets, so-called supermarkets, go ahead and strip down naked. Don't. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, do what you got to do. But they're not going to tell you this in the white school or the white man, and the white man sets up the curriculum. Professor Leonard Jeffries said it. A black educator who the white man has tried to keep down. He was the one who said to me, count on your ears, count on your toes, count on your knees. And you get even with the Jew. Get even with the Jew.
Go ahead.
Give him back his smelly money.
Yes, sir.
Give him back his money, but give him back the right amount of money. That's what I'm saying. If you save 2 cents from counting on your breast or your tampon string, then you're 2 cents economically empowered. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Do I say it loud enough? Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, where'd that come from?
Who is that white man? Oh, absolutely. It's the whitest white man I ever heard.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Tom. Oh, that preaching kills me, man. I love it, though. I was born to preach.
I think that's where you're going next.
A tone with the B tone. C tone. If you, Robin, the secret is yelling. This is what I'm telling you. Yelling, yelling, yelling. The more you yell, the better off you'll be as a preacher.
Yes, sir.
Thick A equals 440 vibrations. How long have we been in America? 440 years. Well, in the 440th year, from the one God, the atom, will come the A tone.
I like the guy in the back. He seems to really be into it. Rhythm and high volume lends credence to nonsense. The more nonsense you yell at, the more the network anchors will go, yes. Minister Farrakhan is speaking now. He is talking about unity. No, he's not. He's talking about atone and the atone.
Yes, sir.
Gary, get me a Dr. Seuss book. I'll read it like Farrakhan. I'll have the masses swing.
Bring everybody to their knees.
Yeah, bring
Stop people from driving.
So-called green eggs and ham.
Spam, I am.
Spam, I am. Who wrote this? The white man. Now, they'll tell you if you can't read this in so-called King's English that there's something wrong with you.
Yes, sir.
How many white people you know can speak black English? A so-called green eggs and ham. Yeah, I could say those words, green eggs and ham. I could say a whole bunch of words. I could say interrogatory. I could say all the white man's words. Ham and eggs and spam. That don't change anything. That don't make it any better.
And all of us gotta tune up our lives. Yes, sir. By the sound of the A tone. Because we've got to atone for all that we have done wrong. And when you...
I love that.
I want the I gotta get that.
That is something else right there.
Tone, if you take the T and couple it with the A and...
Do you think that guy is mic'd?
The guy?
Yeah. Like, do you think that's planned out, or do you think that...
He's like standing right next to him.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because you don't see him moving his lips.
He's the guy with the glasses.
Oh, yeah? I wonder if we can book him for the show.
The professional grunter.
See, he's got it easier than Farrakhan. He's like a bass player in a band. He gets laid and everything, but the lead singer's the one who's got to worry about his voice and all that.
Yeah.
It's really cool to be the bass player. You just get to hang out, hit those 4 strings, and you get laid and you get all the benefits.
Or maybe the drummer.
Yeah, he gets to grunt. He probably gets laid just as much. It's got to be choreographed. Think he knows when to grunt, or he just gets caught up?
I think
they work it out.
Yeah, I think he knows
so much.
They've been working together for a long time. It's like you and me.
Right. We know when to jump in.
Hyphenated, you get at one. So when you tone, you become at one. At one with who? The at-tone?
The at-tone and the on-tone wrong. Thank you. Now, let's get back to some words. We've been talking about numbers all day. Now, numbers are fine, but people need word power. Right. Now, word power. What's that mean, word power, so-called word power? Go take the word today, golf. That's a 4-letter word. Count on your digits. G-O-L-F. Golf. Golf, they say, is O.J.'s favorite game. Oh, you'll hear the white press say, O.J. loves to play golf. Now, golf spelled backwards, same letters. Go ahead. F-L-O-G, flog. Now, flog is what they used to do to a black man when he didn't pick cotton. Flog is what O.J. had to do to his wife. Now, why did O.J. have to kill his wife? Let's say he did do it. Here's a woman don't even listen to them brothers. Wants to see his children. Wants to be doing the right thing in society. And what do they tell her? Stay away from Sydney. Stay away from Justin. Justin with a J, with the Jews. This word flog, and I said flog, not the animal frog, which is F-R-O-G. Frog. That's a whole different thing. And that's a word that tells us we got something caught in our throat. For 440 years, we got a frog in our throat. Now, you take this so-called Mrs. O.J., Nicole. Cut her. She was red, R-E-D. Like red ink. Like the black man's bill that he's been paying for this country for all these years. So what do we learn? we learned that the word golf is a powerful word. Golf spelled backwards is flog, and OJ had to flog his woman because she wouldn't listen.
Yes, sir.
Because he was black, so-called Negro, supposed to sit in the back of the bus. Now, what is a frog?
Yes, sir.
A frog is an amphibian. And what is an amphibian? Let's take apart that word, because they try to fool you with the big words. A big word like amphibian, you hear that word, it go right through you. But you gotta break it down. Gotta break it down. Now, stick with me on this. I'm gonna skip around here on this word amphibian, so try to stay with me. Gonna skip the am for a minute. I'm gonna get back to it, all right? Fib, or so-called Fibian. Fibian was a singer back in the 50s.
Yes, sir.
Man was an Elvis wannabe. And where do these brothers get their inspiration from? The so-called Negro, which begins with the S, which is letter 19, okay? They want us to be in 19th place when they're getting the #1 music from the so-called 19. All right, now, this word fib, P-H-I-B. What's a fib? That's a lie. And that's what they've been telling you all along. They don't want you to think about the word amphibian as 4 different words. They want you to think about it as one long word to confuse you. Fib is a lie. What is a being? Being is you and me, even though they want to convince us we're some kind of monkeys or lowlives. Fib is a lie. Being is a human, what we are, and we are equal to a frog or anybody else. So, we amphibians is what they're saying. Now, you see, now you're looking at amphibian a whole different way. You're looking at it differently, aren't you? Now suddenly the world is a little brighter. Now suddenly the world is filled with a couple of more lies. Now you see with white man what he is. Some of these words the white man developed, amphibian. You thinking that's a frog, like that's some kind of frog. That got nothing to do with a frog. Break it down. Think about what you're hearing. Now you're going to go into stores, you got money in your pocket, you can count up to 73 with your digits and your woman at your side, and now you're going to hear this, you're going to hear the word frog, and suddenly you're going to think amphibian, and you're going to know the white man amphibian you. Now, I could see by my clock, I got to take a break soon, so I can see we have no time for disestablishmentarianism, which could take a month. But I'm going to leave you with a thought, okay? All right? And you women on your periods now, you can count this out for me. Because you got your tampon strings and your breasts, and your ears and your elbows. I want you to take a name that's been in the news. Okay? This name, A.C. Cowley. A.C. Let's listen to this name for a minute, all right? And see if we can't learn something. A.C. A, I go back to your digits. A equals what? 1, right? And C, C equal 3. Now, I'm not talking about B here because there's no B in AC. That would be ABC. And that's a whole nother story about how the white man gave us this alphabet in the first place. Now, A equals 1, C equals 3. Now, take out your digits because that's all you're going to need. You're not going to need your breasts or your testicles. This is an easy one. Now that you got your own personal computer with you today, you're going to be able to think along with me. If A equals 1 and C equals 3, what do 1 and 3 equal? 4. And AC was 4. O.J. Simpson. And that's what we call sticking together, because they didn't want him to stay with him. They told the brother, don't stay with O.J. Meanwhile, O.J. was innocent. The jury spoke.
Yes, sir.
The number 4. He was for his friend. And that's what you must be. So AC, 1 plus 3 equal 4. He was for O.J. And you know that's the way it is. Because you got your digits. And what do AC mean? AC mean electricity. And what did they want to do to Mr. O.J. Simpson because he was a so-called Negro? Is give him the electric chair. Run electricity through him. Right.
What is the so-called alternating current?
So-called alternating current. Let's review, because we got to take a break. So everybody gets it straight. 20 digits, 2 breasts, 2 ears, 2 elbows, 2 nostrils, 1 tampon string equal 29. A man's digits is 20 digits. He got fingers, he got toes, he got a penis, he got 2 ears, 2 elbows, 2 nostrils at 27. 27 plus 29. Now, yeah, we're going to have some argument over what 27 plus 29 means, and that's up to you to figure out. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what 27 plus 29 is, because I'll be digitizing all day. And I don't have a woman at my side anyway.
Yes, sir.
Now, but what did we learn? Golf is flog, it ain't frog, and it ain't amphibian. That's what we learned. So I want you to take this back to your communities when you leave here. Go back proud. Go back and think of the word golf, think of the word amphibian, think of the word flog and frog.
Go ahead.
It's going to help you, going to give you something to think about when you're sitting there fighting, arguing amongst yourselves.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Just remember when the red robin come a bobbing along. I can do that all day.
Obviously, you and Minister Farrakhan have something in common.
Yeah, I'd like to hang with him. Maybe I could pick up a few tips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me hear that guy who goes,
That is about the funniest sound that you'll ever hear.
Say tonto. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
I'm sitting there fully aroused. And this was weird. I wasn't even thinking about girls.
What were you writing about? Gary?
Gary.
Oh, no.
I knew it.
But I was sitting there fully aroused.
That happens, man.
And you know what I did? I started typing it. I said, I can't believe I'm sitting here writing my book and I'm fully aroused. I write down everything because you're trying to fill a book. I got 100,000 words. Sure. So I'm like,
might as well use this.
Yeah. I go, wait a second. Let me get in touch with what's going on here. I go, hey, you're not going to believe this. I'm writing about Gary and I'm fully aroused.
But doesn't that bother you?
Yeah, I wrote down it bothered me. I said,
why are you aroused thinking about Gary?
No, but I wasn't thinking about Gary. I mean, yeah, it just happens. And you see, girls don't understand this.
Right. No. See, you are not making the connection.
Girls don't, no, please. Girls don't understand this. I was explaining this to my editor, Judith Regan, who called me during this experience. She goes, how are you doing? Have you gone any further along? I said, you're not going to believe this. I'm sitting here fully aroused. She goes, what do you mean? She goes, what do you mean? Are you thinking about girls? I go, no, you don't understand. It happens all the time. She goes, at your age? I go, I swear to God, I am almost aroused, I would say 87% of the time.
But that's not aroused.
Yes. Fully.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ready to go? And let me tell you something. How old are you now?
34.
That's good. I said you were 40 in the book.
Oh, good.
I said he's 40 years old. He's still retarded.
But I could be sitting in the car, listening to the baseball game,
right?
And a commercial could come on,
and you're fully aroused,
and they could mention, "Did you see the show Friends?" And I'll think of Courtney Cox, and I'm aroused.
See, I wasn't even thinking about anyone.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying it's totally uncovered.
No, let me tell you something. So I walk around all day, just like a little kid, and I get aroused, and sometimes I have to, finish back to
You're
writing.
You're telling me on a regular basis.
Yeah. This happens.
How come it's never come up before?
Oh, it's come up all the time. I just don't, sometimes I don't even think about it to tell you. And all of a sudden I'm writing and I'm going, this is ridiculous. I'm just sitting here typing and I'm aroused. And then I see I'm rubbing up against the, I have a wooden.
You're like a little animal.
Yeah, I have like a wooden, I am. Right?
Dog,
do you ever type?
Coming to business.
Do you ever rub up against the keyboard?
What, when you work on the computer?
The computer, yeah.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about, the pull-out.
You're moving around and you don't even realize you're kind of, rubbing your thighs and thinking. And
yeah. I'm telling you.
Like I said, you're like a little dog who runs around humping a chair.
Yeah. Well, that's how you girls get pregnant. You think we put up with you any other way?
It's totally believable that he does it once or twice a day.
And let me tell you something. And then my editor, Judith Regan, says, oh, you mean, what happened was she called, I go, you're not going to believe what happened to me. What's going on here in my pants? She goes, oh, you're impotent. I go, no, that's never happened to me once. I said, I would love that. I said, I could walk around all day aroused. She goes, that'll stop when you're like 50.
How does she know?
I don't know.
Got to study, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she knows a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, book editors know everything.
Yeah. But, So last night I'm laying in bed. I had to do it. And I had done it in the afternoon. And I don't know what happened. I fell asleep.
For years you have said you only do it once a day to put yourself asleep.
Yeah, well, I guess on some days it's twice.
It changes with age.
And you know what's weird?
He means he doesn't do it twice in a row.
Right.
Usually.
No, I'll do it in the afternoon and then in the night. I have a friend who did it 5 times a day, but he was 18.
Oh, man.
So, I don't know. I lost the tissues last night in my confusion. And I think, you know what?
So you're doing this in your office? You don't...
No, I went into the bathroom above my office. I haven't attached my office to the bathroom I do it in.
Well, I just meant you didn't sit at your desk. Somebody could walk in.
Please, Robin, please.
It's too under control.
Please. So I'm standing over a toilet.
I've done that.
And it's like it's like sick. I've done that
many times.
Right. I'm just like, I got to get this over with. It's a pain in the neck.
The only room in the house with a lock.
Because you got to, and you got to, it's true. And the only place you're allowed to be locked in.
Exactly.
I locked the bathroom door the other night to shower. My wife starts yelling at me. She comes in, she goes, "Why do you lock the bathroom door? I have to get in here." I go, "Allison, I use this bathroom, our master bathroom, for 5 minutes a day. It's at night. Why are you, A, in here every night when I have to be in here? You have all day to be in the bathroom. B, why is it, the girls are getting older. They just open up the door. I want a little privacy. I want a little privacy. I'm naked. I mean, if I was big, okay, I'd let the kids see me, but I'm a little tiny guy down there. It's embarrassing for the girls to, they're aware of what a man's, genitalia looks like, and I don't want them to see. So my wife goes, "I don't care. Keep this door open. I need to get in here." I said, "Forget it. It's not going to happen. Get your ass out of here. I'm taking 5 minutes for myself." Yeah, get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars.
See, I had that problem. So because I only used to lock the door when I would go in to do something bad.
Yeah.
And then my wife figured it out. So now I lock the door all the time, so that it seems consistent.
So that it's consistent. Yeah, and then when you lock the door and you're not doing anything, you go, "Hey, I should keep it open so she knows I'm not doing anything."
Right.
So anyway, I lost the tissues. Underneath my bed, they're like tumbleweed.
She might
They're
figure
just
it.
laying there.
Yeah, many tissues.
Yeah, many tissues.
You don't think she'll see him and figure it out?
Who cares?
Because my friend's wife called me once and she was like crying because she.
Does your wife know you do it?
Oh yeah.
My wife doesn't.
Oh, we used to talk about it.
My wife still doesn't believe it.
My wife used to come home from work and she used to say, "Did you cheat on me today?" And I said, "Guilty."
Wow. My wife would be so upset if she knew I did that.
Yeah.
My wife is such a prude. Getting her to do new stuff in bed, man, takes a long time.
Why would she care?
I don't know. It bothers her.
Don't you think it would be?
Because then she goes, "I could be doing that for you." And
Not if you're
busy.
at tennis.
Yeah. She doesn't even understand how horny I am because she's not a horny woman. All right, Robin, let's continue with the news.
Christopher Reeve, the man who played Superman in the movies, is going, or has gone home, actually.
To Krypton?
No.
Because Krypton's like millions of miles away. How's he going to get there?
No. This is the actor, not Superman, Howard.
Oh, because Krypton exploded. I hate to give the guy the bad news because he's had a pretty rough year.
I hate to give you the bad news that there's really no Superman.
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, no, there's not.
Hey, how can that be? I just wrote Lois Lane a letter.
You're in love with her.
I am.
Well, Chris Reeve is on his way home. Here is one of the doctors who treated him at the Kessler Institute.
Yeah, he should be very proud of himself. They did a good job on him. I hope I go to the hospital one day and come out like that.
Oh, you're sick.
Hey, it's good news. You can go home. You can't move, but you can go home. Thanks, Doc. Gee, who's the doctor? Dr. Bombay from the Bewitched show? Doctor. You call yourself a doctor? Look at that guy. What's the guy's name, Robin?
Steve, is it Kirschblum?
Steve Kirschblum?
Dr. Steve Kirschblum.
Yeah, fixed him up good.
Let's hear how
went home today.
Chris went home today. Yeah, he looked real cured.
Family left the rehabilitation hospital and is on his way to getting back into his life.
These poor, these doctors are such ghouls. This poor guy should have been left to die.
Oh.
Let me say something, seriously.
I can't believe you say this stuff.
Please, years ago, what would have happened? A guy falls on his head, has a horrible tragedy in his life. Guy can't move. He was dead. He was literally dead. He, in fact, had a blockage of the air.
Well, so what? That is true. But you know what? People used to die of pneumonia,
Can I say something?
So we shouldn't don't take care of them?
Let me just say something. This poor guy, he was out, he was gone. So they did him a favor, they revived him. Now his head can move from left to right. And now he's going to spend the rest of his life going like this. Huh? Left to right. That's his exercise, left to right.
That is not necessarily the case.
Put yourself in his shoes. Like this, look, like this. This is his life, look.
He can move it up and down.
Oh, okay, here. All right, maybe today I'll turn to the right. Maybe I'll look at the eye closest to the downstage eye. That's the life. And the guy had, you know what? He checked out. He died doing what he loved. He loved riding these stupid horses. And he fell off the horse, fell on his head. It was over. It was over. And he had a great life. He had a great wife. He had married twice. He had sex. He had women. He had movies.
He had
everything.
money.
It was gone. And it wasn't a bad death. It wasn't painful. He didn't even know what hit him.
It's over, Johnny.
They bring him back. Guess what? We did you a favor. Now, you could spend the rest of your life looking at your wife.
Watching
her. Watching, she goes, oh, my God. And you know what? And it would have been better for the wife. Would have been better for all concerned.
That is not true.
Say that.
Don't. Ask anybody. Get off the radio,
That
Nancy.
is your feeling.
Off the air, you're going to agree with me 100%.
Liar, liar, paper.
You are.
His brain is still working.
Sure.
Just because your brain doesn't work
Yeah.
doesn't mean that the brain
I'm not saying it to be funny or sarcastic or shocking.
important.
I am telling you the guy was better off.
Absolutely are.
Yeah.
You are the one who has said to me, Robin, I don't care what they tell you.
Come on.
Don't
I'm being
let
serious
them
now.
take me
I'm
off
not
of-
joking now.
Oh, you were joking then?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. This guy,
This
they
man doesn't
ruined
want to
him.
be put in a coffin when he's dead.
His brain works.
Do you want to be stuffed?
Put him in a jar.
Freeze dried?
Oh, let's hear what else the doctor has to say.
Please, I'm tired of
that was
arguing
it.
with you.
Oh, Steve Kirschblum. Hold on. You ready? Here he comes. Steve Kirschblum, everybody. He became a whole expert.
He's independent with the use of computers.
Independent.
By voice activation.
Oh.
He's able to propel his wheelchair independently, which
Wow.
some people may have seen on television.
Sounds like a pretty good day. Sounds like he's going to have a lot of fun. Guy had it all, and now he's got to sit there in that chair. They did him a favor.
Oh, you're just disgusting.
Poofa. Poor bastard.
Let's hope nothing bad ever happens to you.
Let's hope.
You won't be able to take it.
No, I wouldn't. I would not. I feel for the guy. Can't even play Scrabble with his toes.
Like you can.
I actually can. And don't ask me to prove it. I can pull up those little tiles with my feet.
It's one of your greatest joys.
Gee, I'll wake up today. I wonder if I'll blink or not. Yeah, okay, I'm going to blink today.
Did we hear everything that Chris
Yeah.
can do?
Yeah, we heard it all right.
That was it?
It's a very short message.
Computers are wonderful things.
But they do say that he can now breathe up to 15 minutes on his own without
Really?
a respirator.
Yeah, but I heard if a fly lands on his nose, he wigs out.
Oh, yes.
You know who just called me from the other room? Cope. He says, I'll trade him live. I'd rather be him.
You'll switch places.
Right. It's a tough, this guy's got a tough road ahead, and I'm going to tell you something. If they had let him checked out, they would have done him a favor. Really.
That is ridiculous, Howard.
Okay, say what you will.
Medical science makes leaps and advances.
I was even talking to my
incredible
dad. Even my dad was saying to me, he says, you know, it's
You
so
and
true.
your dad.
Yeah, he was so, yeah, my father's a smart
This is
guy.
the guy who stunted your growth.
Yeah.
Sit down and shut up.
Yeah, well, he even said, you know, the poor guy. Now, this is what they did to him.
The poor guy.
It's like RoboCop. They revived him so he can walk around without any memory. Great. Go ahead, Robin.
They took RoboCop's memory.
Yeah, did him a favor. Guy was dead. He was fine, and then everything. They brought him back so he could remember this horrible killing that he went through. RoboCop, very sad movie.
I like Nancy Allen in it.
She was great. She could have looked better, but she did a good job.
She's very good looking.
Not good looking at all.
You are incredible.
What?
You want to know something? I don't understand it now. I understood
Now
it at
you
the
don't.
time.
No, you know what I never understood about Fred?
He
I'll tell you what I
never
understood.
enjoyed being a bachelor on this show.
He never took advantage of what you could get from this show.
I know. I don't get you, man. That's why I always thought you were a homo.
No, I'm not a homo. I just have a weird morality. What can I say?
Well, look,
Yeah, it's very
and
weird.
I regret it.
I was going to say, do you wish you acted differently
I
now?
don't regret getting married, but I do regret not taking advantage of it.
look at this girl. Not only does she have a double D, but she's got a great kick-ass body.
A cute
Look at
face,
that. And a cute face, man. And this girl digs you.
So is he going to have her come down and strip for him?
Yeah.
See, Fred and I used to...
Come on, 21.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
What do you mean, 21?
She looks great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
See, Fred...
That was a squeal of pain, Howard.
Yes.
Fred and I used to get letters from women saying that they dug us.
Fred has this strange morality, but how is it immoral to be a single guy and date women?
I don't know.
And then how is it okay to be a married guy and be at a topless bar every weekend?
But I'm not doing anything with that.
No, because the thing, like me,
There's an implied
I got
agreement.
married before I knew I was going to be famous, and it looked like, hey, this is the best I was going to do in life. If I had been single and hit it like I hit it,
I would never have gotten married.
But the point is, Fred never went to a topless bar before he got married.
I know.
Right.
It's weird.
He's strange.
Things well, Robin, let's put it this way. I never looked at pictures like that before and go like, hey, I wouldn't have mind dating her until now. So things change.
Yeah, I don't get you, though. I mean, it's like you used to get women coming on to you all the time.
Yeah.
Freddie, I think
I never took advantage of
I think what Howard's saying
I was a
is
dope.
you used to get letters like this with pictures like this, and you just ignored them.
Yeah, you
I
throw
did.
them away.
Yeah,
see
I
that
would.
picture
I
again.
would call them. Freddie would throw them away.
This girl's a doll, man. She's got her legs crossed. She's wearing a
real
short
cute.
little skirt.
She's real cute.
And she's got a gorgeous chest.
Gorgeous chest.
Oh, my God. And her legs.
Everything about her is right.
She's all tan. Nice package. And look, you can see her panty.
Jackie saw the picture?
Got nice
More
legs.
panty.
And then when she says she's 21.
Oh, that's even better.
Say no
That's
more.
right over the top, huh?
Say no more.
No stank.
Oh, stop it with the stank.
Nice and fresh and clean.
You're a little
How could
stale yourself, you know.
Smells like a dish.
Wait, you can tell that from a picture?
Oh, yeah. You never dated once after we got to New York, Fred. The whole time
He
we've been
never
in New York.
dated in Washington. He never dated anywhere.
And then he went on a couple of dates with this girl that I set him up with, and he marries her.
There you go.
That's why you're so strange.
Tell me about it.
You know what's nice
I'm
about
not
that?
strange for marrying my wife because she's really a good person, but I am strange for not doing that.
Right.
Other stuff. I agree with that.
No, nobody's saying you're strange for marrying your wife. You're just strange.
Period.
There you go.
And you know what's nice about that 21-year-old is she has no desire to be an actress.
Oh, not yet.
No, not yet.
Well,
The minute you put a ring on her finger, all of a sudden she's calling William Morris.
whatever. All right, very good, Fred.
So she's going to come in. You're not going to call her?
Yeah, we're going to call her. Oh, you want to call her on the air?
Why not?
Gary, get her on the phone. You want to talk to her?
Yeah, I want to see what, I want to hear somebody wax poetic over Fred.
You know, you got a point.
How in the hell did she come up with this idea that she's in love with Fred?
I'll let her do love talk to Fred.
Beg Fred to let
Yeah.
her strip for him.
Oh, man, look at that cute little package. Robin.
But he does. I sit and marvel at him. He's changed completely now that he's married. Now
Yeah.
he's into women.
Yeah. Why be into women now? I don't get it.
I discovered it too late.
I mean, dude, you could have had all the variety you wanted.
Could have gone nuts.
Yeah. Is that her? Chrissy?
She's not your girlfriend. She's Fred's girlfriend.
Hey, Chrissy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. Good morning to everybody there.
Really nice picture.
Thank you.
Are you really that cute, or is that just a good picture?
No, I'm really that cute.
Wow. Guys must come on to you all the time, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice and young. I'm aroused right now hearing your voice. I wasn't getting aroused looking at your picture. Now I'm aroused.
Oh, good.
Yeah, look at you. You've had sex?
Yes, I have.
Do you have a boyfriend?
No, not at the moment. I don't.
Got any sisters?
No, I have a brother.
Can you bring him down? No.
You want to talk? You really attracted to Fred?
Oh my God, I think he's gorgeous.
You want to say some attractive things to Fred? You want to talk some sex talk to Fred?
Not on the air.
Have you ever had fantasies about Fred?
Yes, I have.
Tell us about him.
I just wanted to kind of act out like what those other two girls did with him.
So you want to
But I
strip?
want to take my clothes off for him.
You want to get naked in front of him and then dance around for him and then have him hold you and stuff?
Yeah.
You sounds like you want a dirty dance with him naked.
Yeah, I do.
I just always have to jump in here because when I would speak to somebody on the phone, you understand naked means nothing, right?
Yes, I do.
You take your bra and panties off.
I would do that for Fred.
Okay.
Wow.
You've never done anything like that before?
No.
You got quite a little body. I can see why you'd want to show it off to Fred.
Thank you.
Fred, you want a dirty dance with her? Do the forbidden dance?
It is a given.
Yeah, the lambada.
The lambada, the forbidden
Why don't you
dance.
say hi to her?
She has a really cute voice. It's a very nice letter, by the way, and a
Thank
great
you.
picture.
You're not going to reduce those hooters like our own Robin did you?
No, I'm not.
Those are nice.
Let me tell you something. I used to hate my chest when I was younger.
Oh.
I just was very, very self-conscious about it. Now I love him.
I love it.
Where's she from?
I'm from Brooklyn,
Can't you
New
tell?
York.
Brooklyn. Listen to that accent.
Really?
I used to hate my jazz.
You're right.
Boy, but you are cute.
Thank you. You're cute too.
Anybody else aroused? I'm at full.
How did you? I mean, why is it Fred of all the guys on the show?
I don't know. I saw him on the E! show, and I thought he was so sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he being so quiet for?
I got a question
That's
for you.
Fred.
What was the thing that what show were you watching?
I had seen one when his wife was doing the scene with that
See,
guy, and he got
that's the
mad.
Right.
Then I saw when he acted out with those two girls.
Yeah, a lot of women.
That got you jealous.
So what turned you on? Me fighting about my wife or me making out with those other girls?
Making out with the girls.
He'll do that with you, naked.
Yeah, that's what she wants to do.
I got to brush up on my acting chops for the movie.
And so Fred would have to kiss you, too, because he had to kiss those girls.
Oh, I would love that.
Wow. You could have had all this, pal.
I could have had a king's paradise.
Yeah, I don't get you. I don't get it.
Tell me about it.
You don't get it, right?
Tell me about
Well, he said he could have had one. I know what he's talking about. I have the King's Paradise.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah, right. I know. You got all the girls off the show.
He did.
At least he got it.
I mean, Gary
He did.
followed
He
up
went
on every
nuts.
lead. He never let one lapse.
No.
Even when he should have.
God. I mean, if anybody's had a better time at this, it's Gary. I mean, there's nobody. I've had a miserable time doing radio.
And you know what was the weird thing? When Freddie and I were a lot tighter, you know, years ago,
Yeah.
Freddie would sort of not, I wouldn't say he would complain about how lonely he was, but he would sort of, you know, I know he wished, I mean, I knew he was hetero, I knew he dug women, and I knew he wished he had something going, and I never did understand why he didn't do anything about it.
I think he's got something wrong with his penis or something.
No.
Or something he was embarrassed
The
about.
only thing wrong with my penis is it doesn't see enough action sometimes. But
You think he's embarrassed?
Well, it wasn't seeing any action then.
They open tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What,
All right.
what time would be
I'll
good?
put him on. Put him
All right,
on
hold
I'll
on.
sort it out.
Okay.
here at 5:30.
I want to check that out. Here's a picture. And here's a whole letter.
Oh, so she gonna make it in here tomorrow?
Did we get her name anyway?
Chrissy.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, does it matter?
Well, I figured you should know.
Let me take a break. We'll come back and we'll
now do the news.
do the news. We did one story so far. I wanted to write you because you've been in my thoughts and prayers.
Prayers?
Yeah, Fred.
Oh, she must be religious.
My name is Tiffany. I'm 24 years old. I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong one. This was a Jesus Christ letter, right? Hello, my name is Tiffany. I'm 24 years old. I live in Arizona. Sorry.
Make up your mind.
Well, because I had the wrong letter with it attached. I want to give Fred a hug. I truly can relate to him.
How?
I'm a moral
I
person.
know about that.
I'm the same way. I'm waiting for Mr. Right, someone I can grow old with and be in love with. And now on to Fred's wife. I think she's a fool. She needs to treat him like a husband, not a ticket to stardom. Who's going to take her seriously anyway with the kind of so-called acting she's doing? Nobody. I truly hope. I hope that she figures out that Fred is more important than any stupid play.
So now what does she intend to do?
She heard that girl Chrissy on the air with Fred and said that she was acting ridiculously, getting naked and making a spectacle of herself.
No, that wasn't ridiculous. That
Fred needs a real woman, a lady with class.
How come all of a sudden everybody knows what Fred needs?
Fred probably did not marry his soulmate. And the person who is Ms. Right is still out there. I will enclose a picture of myself. Yes, it'll be a sexy picture because I want to get your attention.
She did.
And I know you wouldn't give this letter a second thought without something to grab your attention. But the thing is, if Fred's wife wants to act so bad, why not take acting lessons and at night strip for Fred? And I'll tell you what, if I were with Fred, I would treat him very special.
Don't you buy it, Fred?
And if I were married to him, I would surely strip for him, but only for him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And Fred, I hope your heart will not be broken because I can tell that you're a real good guy that deserves better. Thank you, Tiffany. And she leaves a phone number and would love to get in touch.
Well, for Tiffany's information, I was out with the Norrises the other night. They look like a very romantic couple to me.
Well,
but Tiffany looks real nice.
Tiffany looks a lot more romantic.
She looked pretty good standing next. She's 5'8".
Nice. Yeah.
5'8". She's closer to my size.
Well, think about it because I'll have her down here if you want. You tell me, pal.
She's in Arizona.
Yeah, she can get here. You know how sometimes girls get crushes on the guys on the show? Never on Jackie, though.
I was going to say, we've never had
No.
Jackie Crush Girl.
It's always Fred.
Or
Fred,
you.
Or me, or Fafa Foley, or Stuttering John.
Grillo hasn't.
Grillo hasn't had one yet.
Yet.
This one's
Ganji?
Fred, this one's a researcher, a research scientist. This one's a scientist.
Oh, we ought to meet her.
Howard,
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 29.
29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And are you good looking?
Yes, I've been told and think so.
And why Fred? Why are you so infatuated with Fred?
I've got a long list of reasons, actually.
Give me a couple of them.
Well, the first one is just simply his voice. I've analyzed it, I've studied it, and I can't tell you why, but there's something inherently sexy and appealing about his voice, something that just really turns me on. The second thing is that he's so incredibly intelligent, and I know that's sometimes hard to hear, and you poke fun at him and say all he does is play buttons, but he's incredibly quick, witty, logical, creative, He uses reason. He's never lost an argument.
He's never lost an argument?
I've never heard him.
Are you sure you're a researcher?
Yes, I
And you're a
am.
scientist?
I have a PhD.
Wow.
And I conduct science.
Hey, Fred, that's got to certainly impress you. A PhD.
Yeah, it's not the usual nut you bring out.
Yeah.
She digs Fred so much.
Yeah.
She digs Fred so much. She's on the West Coast. So this is a woman who set her alarm for 3:45 a.m. to make this phone call.
Really?
I've been looking forward to it for a couple of days now.
Describe yourself. You know, when people think research scientist, though, they think, you know, I don't know. They think
Thick glasses.
thick glasses,
Plain
fat.
Jane.
I know, and that's most of what I work
Who do you
with.
look like? Do you look like anybody famous?
Gary asked me this, and so I've been asking around. I have long blonde hair, and a lot of people tell me that I look like any actress who has long blonde hair. But the two that I've heard more than once have been Barbara Eden from the early days of I Dream of Jeannie,
Yeah.
and more recently Christina Applegate.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are you wasting
Oh, they're
time on
married
a...
with children, girl.
What are you wasting your time on a loser like Fred for? Should be idolizing me.
When the king of all media is
Yeah,
sitting
you're sitting here with the king of all media. I'm much more normal, much more witty, much more intelligent than Fred.
Also, not to insult anyone, but Fred is also the only person on the show who has perfect grammar. I've never heard him make a single mistake.
Well, he never talks.
He only gets about one word a show, so... And if he gets more than a word, I lower his microphone. Why would I...
mess up syntax at that point.
What was that, Fred?
It's hard to mess up syntax at that point.
Oh, did you hear that?
Ooh, he used a big word for you.
By the way, Fred hasn't addressed you yet. I'm going to let you two kids talk in a minute.
Great.
Because Fred has a girlfriend who he refuses to marry, so, I mean, I'm sure that he's still somewhere in the back of his mind is waiting for Miss Right.
Is that right? You think that's what's going
Oh,
on?
absolutely.
Well, right now I'm Dr. Wright, and...
Doctor? You're a doctor.
Well, I do a PhD.
And tell me something. You say you look like Barbara Eden. Well, how big are your jugs?
Perfect C.
C cup.
Mhm.
And I mean, and how old are you?
I'm 29. I've actually been told I look quite young. I still get carded when I go to bars, and even once in a while...
So that's good.
Fred likes him young.
Yeah, Fred likes him young.
Yeah, but I don't want to get
Troublemaker.
real specific.
Fred, you want to meet her?
Probably not.
Oh.
I'm very flattered, but I don't think so.
What do you do? Just in case you just meet her?
I could meet her, but I don't want to...
Would you be willing to go to lunch with her?
Like that. Would I go to lunch with her?
Yeah.
If she was in town, maybe I'd go to lunch.
You would?
I don't know.
Well, if I said that, I mean, she's in California.
If we chaperone you?
Maybe next time we're out in California.
No, would you go to lunch with her if she flew into New York? You know, if she came on the show and said hello?
It wouldn't hurt to go to lunch.
Right.
That's
certainly nothing wrong with that.
That's as far as it could go, though.
All right.
I understand. That's one of the things I admire about Fred, to be perfectly honest.
That you can't get him?
That's it. See, I'm safe, so she knows.
That he's faithful and true.
No, he said he'd go to lunch with you.
I do understand.
That could lead to other things.
Yeah,
believe
how
me.
do we know what Fred means by that?
If Fred falls in love. You know, Fred keeps a girl in Florida on the side. He has her in a condo.
Didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. You don't know. There's a lot of things you don't know about Fred.
I did not know that.
You know that Fred might be an anchorman one day with the nightly news? You don't know things about Fred.
He's practicing.
He's practicing.
That's something else I didn't know.
Well, when are you going to be in New York? How soon can you get here?
Well, I can run over to LAX in a half an hour.
Well, you sound like a hot little number. I'd like to meet you.
Oh, I'd love to meet you too, Howard.
Yeah. I'm thinking once you meet me in person, you'll be a lot more in love with me than Fred.
She's using me to get to you.
No, she's not.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie always thinks that.
Yeah. Why? Well, your girlfriend I set you up with is from Dial-A-Date. Did you
Right.
think she was trying to get to me?
I think she's still trying to figure a way how to do that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm convinced.
You know what? I think you're right.
I think she is. I really do.
That's why she's
That's why you won't marry her, right?
Exactly.
looking fast, Fred.
Is that really true,
Exactly.
Fred? Do you think your girlfriend is secretly after me?
I think so.
Really?
I really do.
Man,
What
that's
can I
heavy.
say?
You're an honest guy,
Has
though.
she ever even
I
said
tried to
two
be.
words to you, Howard?
No, she talks to me. She has a hard time talking to me.
Yeah.
Well, she's trying to find the right words to say.
Yeah. Why doesn't she just come up to me and say, I love you, not Fred?
I want you.
It's hard. Words
Right.
come hard to her in that way.
I have to settle for Fred.
There you go.
I've often felt that Fred's girlfriend is very, very attracted to me and would love to make love to me.
I think so.
I've often felt that way.
She probably thinking, I want you, but Fred supports me.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, and you're with that stupid wife of yours, so what am I
She
supposed
knows
to do?
she got 3 kids now.
3 kids.
Three
That's
kids.
right,
You're
Fred.
getting further and
And a
further
wife.
away.
Yeah, I am.
In-laws. It's like,
You tell your girlfriend I'll do her on the side if she just keeps her mouth shut.
she wants more than that.
I need a girl to keep quiet. I'd love to do your girlfriend. She looks hot.
Yeah, she does. Thanks.
But this one sounds better.
She's a researcher. I wish I
This
knew
one at
she
least
researched.
works. Well, as soon as you get down here, and don't waste time.
Okay.
As soon as you want. If you want, I'll put you on hold. Gary will arrange it.
Some other girl could come knocking at the door.
This is true. Yep. Fred's primed and pumped for a new relationship.
You bet.
Now, if I fly out there and I go to lunch with Fred, is Princess Norris going to be waiting in the restaurant with
No.
John?
No.
She'll be the waitress at the restaurant.
No. Right, Fred? You're not going to do something stupid like that.
I wouldn't dare do anything
No.
like that. No.
It'll be a separate little thing.
Right.
Well, Fred, would you be interested?
I'll let you. I'll let you two
Why not?
talk. I'll let you two talk. Go
Why
ahead. Talk
not?
to Fred directly. I'll
So
say
when will you be flying in?
Well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning here. I didn't even think this was a possibility, but I will look into it and certainly get back to you.
Well, you should check out, at work, make sure it's okay with the people, and I'll take you to lunch somewhere here. Maybe the Harley-Davidson Cafe or something. Who knows? It's
I've
supposed to
never
be a
even
training
heard of
place.
that.
Never been there. It's supposed to be new.
It's not even open.
How do you know about that, Fred?
How do I know about it? I know some people who have been talking about it, and it's the first time that Harley's ever lent its name to an establishment in New York, and it's cool. So if it's not open, then we can't go there.
Hey, if you will, bring a girlfriend for Fat Ganji, my intern. Barbara Eden.
That does happen, but a lot of guys get very scared when I say I have a PhD. If I say I'm an aerobics instructor, I get all the attention I want.
Right.
You don't think Fred will be scared?
No, Fred's not afraid of a smart woman. You're not afraid, right, Fred?
No.
Fred, you got to admit you're a little intrigued with this.
Oh, it's definitely intriguing sounding. There's no doubt about it.
Now, do you know that Fred
I
has...
can act on it other than just a simple lunch.
But suppose she walked in and she really was the girl of your dreams.
And she bowled you over.
That's a big if.
Right.
But it could happen.
Anything could happen. A bomb could fall on his building. Jackie could come in one day with his fingernails back. Anything could happen.
See how quick he is?
See how funny Fred is? Finally said something funny.
She's still using me to get to you.
No, that's absolutely not true.
Fred, this one wants
she
you
is
for
very
you.
smart.
This one wants you, Fred.
He's going to keep going with this lie here. I don't know.
All right, well, very good.
Well, you come to New York.
I made you the offer.
If she comes to New York, it's a standing offer for lunch anytime.
There you go. Come up. You'll be on the show. I'll look you over, and Fred will look you over, and Fred guarantees you a lunch, no matter how bad you look.
Would you massage us?
I love to give massages.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, that would be very exciting as well.
You hate Vince McMahon. I mean, a lot of people hate him.
Yes, that's why they leave.
That's why they leave.
A lot of people have left.
I mean, when did you start hating him? I mean, how did that happen?
Well, I was always skeptical of his integrity. Let me put it that way. I think you join the company knowing that, like, okay, I know the guy's a rat, but
but you have to work
here. It's like you have to sign. You have to, and he was the sort of the big man on campus when wrestling. He was the only guy that could really
put you over.
Do the most for you in this industry anyway at that time.
I don't know Vince McMahon, so I've never worked for him. I mean, he's a sponsor of the show. He's never said a bad word about me, and and I don't know anything bad about the guy. But just to play devil's advocate here, could it be a case of sour grapes that you couldn't get what you wanted, and then you just got upset and bitter? I know sometimes ex-employees get really angry, this kind of thing. I mean, is it bad?
It's not really like that. I've always had high regard for him. I think he's got the most creative mind in wrestling. You know, and
he seems to be a great entrepreneur.
He's just a guy that he has no integrity. I don't think he's.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's hard to understand.
It's kind of you have to sort of deal with everybody that's ever worked for him. I mean, so many people that have worked for him, you always know. That he's going to kind of screw you in the end. I think it's.
I've worked for a few guys like that.
The philosophy, I think, for him is that no matter what you do for him, or no matter how hard you work for him. Like for me, I worked for him for 14 years. I always try to think of somebody that, in a comparable way, as far as what I did to wrestling or what I tried to do for wrestling, and I think of say Cal Ripken or something like that.
Right.
I worked over and over and over, and I was 5-time world champion.
You were very loyal,
and I did everything I ever could. I couldn't have worked any harder for him, and I always thought it was recognized and appreciated, and he always told me it was recognized and appreciated.
So when did the break come?
And then he just squished me like a bug in the end and kind of discarded me.
Well, after 14, in other words, after 14 years, you probably have to go in and negotiate a contract like any performer, and you went in to ask for money. I would imagine. I'm imagining this would be the rift. I mean, would he not pay you, or would?
I went into a situation where I became like a free agent, if you can believe that, in wrestling.
Right.
And I got offered to go to the WCW for double the money.
Right.
And I turned down $1.5 million extra to stay loyal to this creepy Vince McMahon.
Right.
And I thought it was appreciated, and I said, I felt that that he couldn't put a price tag on the friendship and the loyalty I had with his company.
And you probably felt, hey, that's the biggest game in town. You want to play for them,
I've been with them for 14 years. I had all my, even to this day, they have all my footage, all my pictures, all my.
They own all that.
They own my career. They
That's
got
right.
a time capsule locked up in a big.
They own your history. You don't have any rights to it.
Right. And so I wanted to stay. I didn't really want to go. And 9 months later, he told me that he was going broke. The company was going broke, which is a lie.
Right.
And that they couldn't afford to meet my contract. And then he urged me to go back to the WCW to go and get my old, this offer that they laid out before. I think he did that assuming that they would say, well, that was a year ago. We don't have, and then I would be left renegotiating with him for a lesser amount. But, but they immediately accepted and offered me pretty much the same deal.
So they've been generous with you, the WCW.
WCW has been great with me.
They're good people.
They're good people.
That's Ted Turner's company?
Yeah, and they're honest.
Right.
But that's pretty funny to get a guy, he's trying to get himself into a better negotiating position and he sends you off to another company?
Right.
Well, I think there was some kind of, I never understood the tactics or the reasons for where he was going, but I know in the end, I did pretty much everything he asked for, with the exception that I wanted to leave. I had one match in Canada, and it was a situation where, in wrestling, ultimately the good guy needed to win this match. Otherwise, I would really have a lot of egg on my face. And he basically gave me his word and swore that that wouldn't be a problem. And I went in the ring, and they screwed me right in front of the whole country. And
made you lose? Made
me lose. Maybe had the guy put me in my hole just as I was it was supposed to be a thing where I was just getting out of the move.
Did you think that he orchestrated? In other words,
I know it. It's all in this documentary.
But wait a second. They work out in advance who's going to win. I don't think that's any secret.
Right.
No.
All right. So everybody knows that. It's theater.
Yeah.
So they work it out. You get in the ring, and all of a sudden the gameplay switches?
Yeah, right in the middle of the match, they ring the bell and say I lost. And I thought, why would 14 years, everything I've done for this guy.
They didn't have the balls to tell you up front that you were going to lose.
Right.
No, they did. It was specifically done. I mean, it was done strictly
to humiliate
me and squish me like a. Because let's be honest here. I left the company to go work now. I'm doing, like I said, did it as a favor to them. But I'm going to another company where I'm going to get paid more.
Right.
And I'm reluctantly going, but it's not a bad deal.
Right.
But just how they treated me in the end, it was.
So you still had some time to work for them before you switched over?
Yeah, I had 30 days.
That's when it happened.
Oh, I see.
So needless to say, at the end of that match, I did knock out Vince McMahon.
Did you, for real?
Now, for real, you punched him out?
I broke 2 bones in my hand, and I knocked him out cold, and he went down.
Wait. I got to understand this. So this is you're talking about a real fight. You're talking about a real deal. This was televised?
No, but there was this documentary crew that was following me around.
So they have it on tape.
Well, they don't have the knockout punch, but they have him coming out of the room after I punched him, and you can certainly tell he got punched.
So you walked up to him. You were so angry, and rightly so, that the game plan switched. He was standing there. You walked up. Did you say anything?
Well, I'll tell you what happened was I had gone to the dressing room, he had locked himself in his little room.
Right.
And then I stormed off to my dressing room.
This is like the real show.
I didn't think I was going to see him.
Right.
And you have to understand, he's not a small guy.
Right. Is he a tough guy?
No, he's not a tough guy.
But he's built
I think he likes to imagine he is.
All right.
And
I need to see this footage.
A lot of the wrestlers, I think, were really upset.
Yes.
I meanwhile took a shower, and I was just getting ready to blow out of there.
Because if it happens to you, it could happen to anybody.
I was really, I'll tell you, I was shocked and crushed. I couldn't believe they would do that to me. And,
right.
So anyway, I guess some of the wrestlers rounded him up and chased him out of his office and told him to come down and explain himself in the dressing room. And so when I came out of the shower... At
least he had the balls to go down there. Yeah.
Yeah, at least he had the balls to come down there.
Right.
And he came into the dressing room, and I just finished taking a shower. And I did have a funny vision of myself rolling around fighting, punching out Vince McMahon naked.
In your birthday suit.
You want to have some clothes on.
I don't want this, if they ever do a movie on this, let's do it right, let me put some clothes on.
So you put clothes on for the event.
I told him, I said, I'm going to dry off. I'm going to get dressed.
It's hard to hit a guy when you're naked.
Yeah, you don't want to. He's right. You don't want to get into a rolling around on the floor situation naked with a guy.
Lose parts.
yeah, you can get kicked in the nuts. Yeah, go ahead. So you get dressed.
I said, I'm going to dry off. And I said, if you're still standing there, I'm going to knock you out.
Oh.
And, as soon as I dried off and tied my shoelace, I stood up and I walked over, and he sort of came toward me. You have to understand, he was surrounding me with about 4 or 5 of sort of like his henchmen. All pretty big guys, too, all ex-wrestlers and stuff.
Bodyguard types, yeah.
And I had my brother and my brother-in-law and a punch.
One punch.
I hit him in the jaw like an uppercut. And I actually blacked his eyes. And when I remember he went down like nothing. And then they scooped him up they picked him up by his shoulders, sat him on the chair.
Right.
And I remember he was like shaking his head going, like blubbering kind of thing. I never sat there, and I really was in shock. I kept thinking, I can't believe I just knocked out Vince McMahon, my boss. And then I stood up and I said, get that piece of shit out of here.
Really? Did you feel better?
Oh, yeah. And they picked him up and they actually dragged him out to the door where his feet were like dragging. And that's when the video camera outside with this documentary crew picked it up. And apparently I've always been overjoyed to hear that he hated so much to be seen. He hates to be seen weak, I guess, Vince McMahon. So when they showed him being dragged down the hall.
Like a woman.
Yeah. That he wanted to buy the documentary, buy the whole show, buy anything it is, and have it like, it'd be shelved somewhere and be with my other tapes.
And his something else you wouldn't own. His bodyguards didn't jump on you.
No.
They allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
In a way, that's kind of weird. And
well, it wasn't like he was alone either, so it was another group of big guys. They would have had to get it on.
Why do you think he stood there when you told him you were going to punch him out? Did he probably think you wouldn't have the balls to do it?
Maybe.
That was probably
maybe
it.
That, or maybe
just wanted to get it over with.
He's also the kind of guy that might have fancied himself as kind of a tough guy.
Yeah, he couldn't back down.
That he thought maybe, or that maybe it might get into kind of like a couple, we're pulling each other's jackets, or or maybe, I'll never know. I'll never know why the hell he screwed me in the first place. And I worked much too hard for him.
And you haven't seen him since you knocked him out?
No, well, I did see him. I saw him the day the day before my brother's funeral, where he was his classic scum self. He met me on he pleaded and begged with me to meet him all week long after my brother passed away through the course of the week. And I have such harsh feelings for the guy, but I kept trying to overlook that. And so I did talk with Martha's lawyers, who were in effect at that time, helping, making decisions. And they said, whatever you do, don't talk about the case.
Right.
Don't talk about the case. You can talk about anything else, but... So I did meet him on the day before the funeral, and I asked him a little bit about the case. And I said, basically, he said, you don't know any more than what the newspapers know. And he said, no, I don't. And I said, well, there's no sense really talking about that then. And then I asked him about why he screwed me over, and I went into that in quite detail. I hadn't spoke to him since he did it, and I wanted a straight answer on that. And I did get one. He told me it's the biggest regret he ever had and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And then I asked him about why he carried on the show.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if it bothered you that the show went on.
It bothered me immensely that the show went on. And mostly it bothered me from the standpoint more that they made the poor wrestlers go out afterwards. There's one wrestler that was very close with Owen that was being basically pushed out through the curtain to wrestle as they wheeled my brother past him. Ooh. And I thought the whole thing was so cold-blooded. And, his logic, of course, is that there was going to be a riot and stuff like that. And I always think, I give wrestling fans a hell of a lot more credit than that. I don't think there would have been a riot or anything like that.
Oh, good.
It looks like a fine book, Howard.
Look through it. By the way, if you notice on each page, certain words will pop out on each page.
Right.
Take a look at the design.
Serial killer.
Like a serial killer. Fred, there's a copy for you.
Great.
Jackie, take one for yourself. Thank you.
And when I have time, I will leaf through it.
Thank you. It's very sweet of you. Your Holiness.
What can I do? I can't. I'm just like that guy over in the store. I can't look at it.
You know how you look at my faxes during the show? You can look at that.
I can't.
You can skip looking at faxes today. We'll take care of the faxes, okay?
No, you can't take care.
Thank you. You're very nice to me. Yes, Jackie.
The picture on the back is brutal.
Let me see. That is my picture. That is actually from the Trump wedding.
I know that's
myself and OJ. That is not doctored in any way, Jackie.
I know that's why it's so.
Jackie, open up. Give me a copy so I can tell you what page to open up. Just Robin, you two, take a look at the picture of Jackie's ass. Oh wait, you want to see the picture of Dominic? Go to page 241. Take a look at the picture of Dominic, the bloated attorney, next to the woman holding the penis hot dog. Take a look at that.
Oh, God.
Look at Dominic. Does he look like Cleopatra?
Just very funny. What the hell did he think he was posing?
I don't know. I don't even remember where that was taken. And look at his fingers.
I know.
They're like little fat sausages.
They are Vienna sausages at the end of it.
And take a look at the picture of the woman holding that's a Drew Friedman illustration of, see what she's holding? Remember this story you did in the news of the woman who had the penis hot dog? She had it in a Sloppy Joe.
Yeah.
The penis Sloppy Joe. That is a picture. A reenactment.
A recreation.
A recreation. And then I want to show you the picture of Jackie that I think everyone will really like.
Where is this from?
What, you got the picture of you?
No, I'm asking you, where is it and where's it from?
This was from Club Benet. When you bent over.
When he bent over.
All right, page 196.
Oh, no.
Is Jackie's toenails, and then you'll see his entire...
Oh,
Oh, that's
oh, God.
Jesus.
I gotta admit, come on, he's got a cute butt.
That hasn't been retouched
Look
either.
at that. That's, you know what? They could put that in Penthouse.
I know.
Oh,
That's the same
I still,
pose.
what is what?
I don't know.
That's that same pose. Boy, you're clean back there, Jack.
He is. He has no hair back there.
I also am in pretty good shape.
You are in good shape. Jackie's happy. That's the best picture ever taken of Jackie.
I'm not happy, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
This is going to replace the cover of Sergeant Pecker.
Stop the presses.
You know how long I've been holding on to that picture trying to figure out what to do with it?
I've never seen that picture.
Yeah, you were on...
Is that from when we were...
Yeah, that Club Benet show.
I'm talking about Jackie's hygiene. Do you notice on the page certain words are staring at you? Hearty, sloppy, smelly. You see that?
Yeah.
And right above that, you see this G-string in Jackie's buttocks. But that was at Club Benet. We decided to do a strip show. And all of us were wearing like little bikini bottoms, but Jackie shows up in a real G-string. And he mooned and cracked a smile to the audience.
Right. And half the time, they'll...
Hey, looking at you.
But gay men will love this.
Oh, boy.
Because Jackie's buttocks is totally wide open in this picture on page 196.
That is a target.
That's a target.
Yeah.
Is that somebody's arm?
Where?
Because it looks like Jackie's wearing leggings.
I think that's somebody's head, Rob. Oh, I see what you mean.
No, I had on boots, I think.
No, I think I think Robin's right. That's somebody's arm.
Yeah. Because I was not sure if that belonged to Jackie or someone else.
There's a lot going
I
on.
can't tell what this thing is, actually.
I want to show you one more picture in the book. I got to show you this one picture.
I still think I look better than Dominic.
Oh, you do?
Well, that's hard to
Turn to page 142. It's all of us at my wife's funeral with my parents, and I'm having sex with Amy Lynn over my wife's coffin.
Say the page number again.
142.
Oh, I can't get past Drew Barrymore's mother.
Oh, do you like that shot?
Holy Christ.
I love posing for that. What page is Drew Barrymore's mother on?
That's 149. That's awesome.
Take a look at 149, Robin. Ooh. In your text. In your Bible. Look at Drew Barrymore's mom. Is that a hot little monkey? Which page are you on?
Oh.
Which one are you at, Allison's funeral or are you at Drew Barrymore's?
149.
Look at her.
Ooh.
Look at the body on her.
She is hot.
She's 40-something years old. 40.
She's 49.
Yeah. Hey, I don't look bad in that picture either, do I, Robin?
Oh, you look like you're very happy. You're happy to be there.
Nope, not the Oprah cookbook.
What could it have been? I'm trying to think.
I think it was Jackie's ass put me over the top. Hey, I knew it was me. Genius.
My ass sells books.
Well, Jackie gets credit for everything. You know how tough it is for Jackie.
It is tough for Jackie. You know how tough it is for Jackie, too.
For once he understood someone, and it had to be Jackie.
Nobody else has the problems Jackie has. Jackie's the most mentally ill on the show, and he can think it's you, but it's not. It's Jackie.
Well, Fred is the most normal. That's one nice thing you did say about
me. Oh, thank you. Gee, Fred, thank you.
But it's all the others.
Well, you got to take the good with the bad.
I don't know if being the most normal in this pack is the highest of compliments.
Listen, Fred, you got to take the good with the bad. Robin, you got to take the good with the bad. And Jackie, you got to take the good with the bad.
I wish I could have found some good.
Very little good.
Oh, stop it.
99% bad.
Let's see if we can find some good. Give me a copy of my book. Does anybody have a copy of my book? Or have they all been burned?
I think I burned mine.
That's right. Okay. Well, whatever I said in the book,
you meant. I'm sure.
I meant. I did mean it. Here's a copy of my book. Let's see if we can find anything good on First Robin. And then we'll work our way down.
I'm your best friend. I hate to hear how you talk about it.
So now you're remembering some good things.
No, but the things you say about me. I'm just a pain. You had to feign illness.
You were a pain. I told you you're a pain.
Right.
You're not a pain anymore, although today you are.
I know. I said, you know what? I might as well go in there and just keep my mouth shut because anything I say...
I love Robin. There's absolutely no better partner, friend in the world. It's a mind meld. We don't need to look at each other or plan. It just happens.
I can't because I'll have to...
Just excuse me. Excuse me, honey. Honey. You're getting under my skin, okay?
See? That's exactly what he writes in the book.
You're getting under my skin.
I love her, but she gets under my skin.
Baby.
Baby. Let's see. Let's see if we can find anything else nice. Maybe there's just nothing else in here. Oh, gee. Let's see.
Well, you're looking, aren't you?
I'm really straining.
Well, where is it?
What you just read was so nice, though.
Of course it's
You don't see
nice.
what's around it. He takes it out of context.
Robin is. Let's see if we can find something else. Robin is one of my closest friends and one of the few people in the entire universe who understands me. Remarkably, there's never been anyone in my entire life more supportive of me or more loyal to the show.
Yes, and I can't understand how
If
I
anyone
was so
tries-
horrible since
if
I
anyone-
was doing that.
Be quiet. If anyone tries to attack me, Robin reacts like a rabid dog.
Oh, not anymore.
She hops on them and bites their effing ear off. When I've been depressed, she magically lifted me out of it. Who's talking like a loved one now? Who's talking like a loved one now? God, maybe I'm the one who's in love with her. Maybe I do have emotions. Yes.
Right, yeah, but what about... she made me so crazy. She was a pain in my ass.
You were.
I had to feign illness.
Yeah, you were mental. I had to put up with you.
Right.
And I'm a damn good guy for it.
Sure.
You're damn right.
I had to fight for her. And then she's all over me.
Yeah, that's what you did.
Right.
That's what you wrote about in your book. Okay. Go read your own book. I'm repeating her history, and she's...
You are writing about...
Right, Jackie?
All I know is
my
that
buddy?
I wind up...
From what you've read so far, I don't understand.
Yeah, of course not.
On wheels that, thank God.
Robin makes me feel funny. A lot of people don't like Robin's laugh, but I know it's truly genuine. If you heard Robin in a room alone with me, she'd laugh just as much. Her laugh is a great tonic for me. Sometimes she laughs at things I don't realize are funny, and that keeps me going on a topic. If she doesn't laugh, I might lose confidence.
That's nice.
And go on to something... Oh, yeah.
All
a
I
lot
do
of
is laugh.
Just be quiet. You sound
Don't
absurd.
tell me that I couldn't read my chapter and find something nice in it. That was totally nice what it just said.
Right. Well, you're not insulted by that.
But that didn't say all you can do is laugh. He just said he enjoyed it.
That's how he describes what I do.
Oh, just shut up, Robin. You sound ridiculous.
Right. I know. I always sound ridiculous.
Sound ridiculous.
That's exactly what you say in the chapter.
I devoted a paragraph to Robin's laugh.
But that's the paragraph on what I do.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Good.
Yeah.
Fine. You know what? It really doesn't bother me because
Robin contributes to the show. Listen to the. This is how idiotic this sounds.
I wouldn't be having this conversation.
Robin's contribution to the show in ways. Robin contributes to the show in ways people can't see. She's an integral part of our brainstorming sessions. And when we have a guest on, Robin, who has a feed that goes right into my headphones, might surreptitiously whisper, "Why don't you ask them if they ever after donkey?" But there's a reason that Robin sits in a separate studio. Robin represents the audience to me, so I want her response to be fresh, and I want it on the air. She's the only person who's allowed to talk freely on the show.
Right. Okay, thank you
Jackie
for allowing
or Fred?
me.
Yeah. That's right.
Massa Howard.
That's right.
That's not how the show came to be. You allowed me to do it.
Of course.
I wouldn't be working here.
They wanted you to be a newswoman.
The premise of what I do. All right?
Okay. I didn't allow it.
No, you didn't allow it.
I see.
It was created. It was what happened as we came together. But now you allow me to speak.
Chat.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad to be allowed to do something.
You're right. It's a horrible thing I wrote about you. Well, you'll just have to get over it. You'll have to get over it.
I know I'll have to get
That's
over
it.
it.
You'll have to live with it.
Because you're going to allow me to.
Yes. No, I'm not allowing you. I'm commanding you to.
Well, that's what you did yesterday.
That's right.
You commanded me to do my job the way you wanted me to do it.
That's right.
So now you're really taking over and cracking the whip. You're allowing me to do this.
Let's move on to Fred since I was so mean to Robin.
You're going to command me to get over it.
I then say Robin is cured. And I say the new Robin is a lot of fun and the greatest and most generous radio partner in the world. It's a horrible thing. Another slam. Fred Norris, to hell with all of you. I'm not going to defend my work. My work is my work, and you can say or think whatever you want. And Fred, you can think whatever you want.
I put away your records and I'm a
That's right. And you can write. And you know something? I love you for it.
There you go.
That's all.
I always thought I was more than that, but
no, that's what you are. That's all I wrote about you.
I know. That and all my quirks.
Well, the quirks I can't hide, Fred.
The quirks,
The quirks are there, and I've announced them on the air for years.
But I think they have been
You're as
exaggerated.
quirky as they go.
Not nearly.
What was exaggerated? Name one quirk that I exaggerated.
Not nearly as quirky as yourself.
Robin did a very good job of telling me what she didn't like. Tell me what you felt I exaggerated in your quirk.
You want to know something?
Get the book.
I was so shocked.
Yes.
It was numbing to me.
Oh, was that right? It was numbing to you?
Numbing to me.
Well,
and I know you're making fun of that, and that's fine.
Well, tell me.
I understand what he's saying. I know exactly how
was
he
numbing to
feels.
me.
What is the quirk that? What is the quirk? What is the quirk that you object to? That you think I'm exaggerating?
What do I think that you
Yes. What was I exaggerating?
It's not so
Excuse me, Robin. I'm not talking to you.
No, he's not talking.
When I was addressing you, he didn't talk about you.
But I will say,
now your microphone is not being allowed to be used.
See, you can talk about
I'm talking to
the
Fred.
all you want, but I'll tell you one
I'm
thing.
allowing you to have free reign right now.
Okay, I'll tell you the thing that really bothered me the most. I think that my contributions to the program were really, really minimalized.
Really?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Okay, it's like you're getting defensive. And
did I write about how great the voices are that you do? Did I write you were a great writer?
Not really.
Oh, not really.
Not really.
Oh,
no.
I see. Well, let's see. Okay, so now so that was minimal. Now tell me about the quirks that you don't like.
Okay.
I see. I wrote that Fred is a guy who does incredible voices. When I met him, he did incredible impersonations.
But it didn't come off that way.
Well, to you it didn't. Excuse me, Robin. I didn't ask your opinion. I didn't ask your opinion. No, this is not a book review section.
This is the book notes
Right.
section.
This is.
You know what it is? Is that you're asking. But
this is not review. I asked for your review of you, and it's not a round table discussion.
I also take offense.
I'm never writing another book.
I also take offense that you call me a homophobe, which I am not.
Where do I call you that?
In your little
the world's biggest homophobe has been the gayest guy alive.
That's right.
I'm not a homophobe.
You are homophobic.
I don't.
The day that I was in the room with you and I was walking around in my underpants, you couldn't even handle it.
I'm modest, but I'm not homophobic. There's a difference.
I feel you're homophobic.
Well, see, that's something that you should either talk to me about.
And you are very uptight.
No,
I'm telling you you're homophobic.
I'm uptight, but I'm
it's
not
my
homophobic.
opinion. See, you are homophobic.
Okay. See, that's something that...
You are so uptight about gays, and if a gay man... Oh, please.
No.
Oh.
No.
All right, so you're not homophobic. Go ahead. All right.
Read more.
Read more. What else? What else did I exaggerate?
I feel like we're the Black Israelites.
Read the book.
Right.
As that guy said on Entertainment Tonight, or whatever it was last night, he said, Old Testament, he held the private parts, New Testament.
Okay. There you go.
Go ahead, Fred.
Okay, Fred needs help with eating.
Gee, I've never said that before.
No.
Robin, excuse me, I will allow you to talk now. Robin pointed all this out to me.
Hold on. If you want to manipulate the situation...
We're real.
Do you talk with a pouch? Okay. Do I catch you with a pouch every day on this show?
Well, it's because...
that's because what? Does Robin watch you slurp yogurt?
Well, you eat too.
Of course I do. Do I talk about it?
Every core
do I talk about the food in my hair when Gorilla orders me
nobody
potatoes?
Sits here and humiliates you over that, do they?
I humiliate myself. I don't need anybody to do it.
Yeah, it's much different.
Oh, I see.
It's much different when you're self-deprecating.
So I'm wrong. So you're saying that I exaggerate your eating
opening a checking account in Washington.
You didn't?
I had a checking account.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
and who
I
helped
did.
you get that checking account? Who brought you to the bank? And who brought you to get your apartment?
I got my own checking account.
Please. Oh, please, Robin.
Please.
Robin, do we have a rube on our hands or what?
The quirks were true.
Thank you.
That was true.
Thank you.
But I'll tell you, I will say
what are we arguing about here?
No, but it's great.
I can't, Fred, and that
but you want to know something?
List, that's
What I
one
really
thing that didn't happen.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
Robin is saying in her defense that I'm a liar when it comes to her, but I cannot possibly be lying when it comes to you.
You couldn't have made
You can
that
skip the
stuff
quirks thing. I will, but I will say...
All right, so you admit that you are wrong about the quirks?
No, I won't.
You will
I
not.
say you exaggerated them. I will.
I didn't. I thought I was...
okay.
He didn't put them all
Whatever
in.
you want
Did
to
you
say
not
about
stay in
that.
my apartment and
Whatever
eat
you want to
hot
say
dogs?
about that, whatever you want to say about that is
Did
fine.
you not standing
Okay,
up?
go ahead.
But I will say
All
one
right.
thing.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
I was really hurt by the fact that you just did not give me the kind of credit.
Oh, we're
that I
back
thought.
to that.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go back and take a look at the credit, and let's see if
You
we
want to
got
know
any
something?
credit.
You can read that all you want, man.
Well, let's see. Hold on.
Totality, Howard.
It was
I
so
agree.
minimal.
Robin, once again, I got to tell you,
Be quiet.
no one asked your opinion on Fred. I mean, look, I'm in the battle of my life. I don't need Fred going after me.
You know I'm right. You know she's right.
Yeah, right. Oh, she's absolutely right. I would never argue with Robin, but you, I'm going to argue with.
Yeah, me, I'm going to argue with because you think you can beat me down with that.
Of course. Well, so far I'm doing pretty good. I got you to admit that your quirks are all true.
They're not. I did not admit that.
All right, but you won't argue with me.
I won't argue
Here are
with
the
it
following quirks
because-
from the book. Fred needed help opening a checkout. Fred eats with a pouch.
But you know what? The other thing, man.
Fred needs help leaving a room.
Hold on.
Come on.
Hold on. You call me a psycho. You call me a psycho, you call me a mental patient.
You know,
you
that
call me a
shovel
Martian.
statement always
It's like
set
I'm
his
a
hair on
dog.
end.
The shovel.
Come on.
All right, now hold it.
But
Now
he
let's
always
go
hated
back.
that statement.
Hold on.
You know, we're missing the whole general point that just the idea of writing a book that totally slams the people that share the foxhole with you every day is
That's
so
right.
over the top to begin with.
Of course,
We should all
of
be
course.
pissed at the fact that the book even exists.
Exactly.
Listen to him. He's so overjoyed with what you said about him.
I am not. There's
he's-
no way.
no,
I'm
he's
dying.
ready. Wait, he
I'm dying
gets-
to read what he wrote.
He gets to argue next. This is great.
He's never been on your side.
All right, you ready?
Who's on his side? I'm saying we should all be pissed off that he wrote a book
Fred
slamming
is
him.
the first guy
That's on his side.
in radio. I talk about how, out of all the people I met early on in my career when I was
let me ask-
nobody,
let me ask-
excuse me, I'm going to paraphrase.
Is this
Fred
my time or is
came
it
up
your
to me,
time?
gave of himself, he gave himself selflessly, and said, I want, I'm going to do some voices for you. He wasn't getting paid, wasn't doing anything. He hung out with me and did these brilliant voices. I developed that whole thing about how I meet Fred. If that isn't a compliment to your talents, Pally, then I don't know what is. And Robin, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to Fred. Number one, you got your own agenda with Fred.
No, man, it's
I have an agenda with
the
Fred?
evidence.
Yeah, you left Fred out of your book.
evidence pointing out
Now, at
my
least I remembered I worked with him.
inadequacy.
Yeah. What did you say?
The
You
evidence.
did it safe. You left Fred out. I have him in.
No. You know what I talked about Fred?
Mhm.
I talked about how Fred was a strong right arm, a
Yeah.
shoulder for me.
Well, that's what I wrote.
During the time that I was in my worst state.
Yeah, you wrote about his talents, too. Okay, here we go. All right. So listen, you want to start defending yourself to Fred.
Excuse me, I didn't denigrate his
All right.
talents.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't denigrate his talents either.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through it again. So there I am sitting there, an unknown disc jockey, I write. I'm nobody to anybody. The one guy who was nice to me is Fred. He comes in and he did impressions that blew me away. That's his number one talent.
Only because I wouldn't talk to
Oh, so now you're going to paraphrase. You asked if I talked about your talents. If you, that's not out of context. Read the book.
People aren't just going to read that sentence.
Please.
Read the book.
Read the book.
Oh, yeah,
read the book.
Read the book. This is really going to be good for me.
Read the book. Read the book.
The zeal usually...
Here I will read from Fred. Here is how nasty I was to Fred. Fred would come in and tell me he thought I was really funny and that I was onto something fresh and new in radio. Remarkably, one morning, with some vigorous prodding on my part, shy and bashful Fred got on a phone extension in another room. Fred was the kind of guy who would say, "You don't really want me to get on the phone, do you?" I go, "Yeah, you're great. Go ahead, get on the phone." He got on and effortlessly did funny impressions of Nixon and Howard Cosell live on the air. He was one of the most talented people I ever met. From that day forward,
Interplanetary radio geek and serial killer lookalike.
Yeah. Oh, you've never heard that before.
That's all I read, man.
Well, then you read what you want to read. I'll read what I want to read.
It's the mountain of stuff that you put against the thing that you would consider to be...
Fred, I got to look at the whole man.
The crumb compliment, you know what I mean?
Fred, I got to look at the whole man.
No, you're not looking at the whole man. You're distorting the whole man.
Well,
Why not concentrate on the positive?
why don't you underline... Yeah, let me...
It's
you know
all
what?
negative.
You know what I'm going to do, Fred, for you?
It is
This is what I'm going to do for you.
What are you going to do for me?
I'm going to give you a new copy of the book. Listen to me. I'm going to highlight all the parts that are good about you. And I'm going to cut out...
And I'll highlight all the parts that are negative about me. It'll look like I urinated on your book.
You know what you should do? You should do it like the O.J. jury newspaper.
Please. Right.
Cut out all the bad parts
That's
and
all.
give Fred the good parts.
That's all. And you know what?
And see how much of a chapter
Your
there
defense
is.
is
How
like
much
the
of a
glove don't
section
fit, it
there
don't mean you
is.
must have
First of all, and also,
See how
let's
much of a
debate
section there
what
is.
is really bad. The fact that Fred likes to eat hot dogs and doesn't swallow his food is not a bad thing. It's just a personality trait.
Yeah, don't change the
Well, I think what Fred is saying, talk about what I do, not what you don't like. Talk about my talent.
Everything is about... Yeah, he's right.
Gee, I won't write about any of the other stuff we talk on the air every day.
I'm just saying, this is what
Wait
it's
a
saying.
second. How did you get involved in... Are you Fred's lawyer?
I'm trying to help you.
Are you Fred's lawyer? No, you don't help.
God, you
Are
help
you
me
Fred's
also.
lawyer? Look at Jackie just sitting quiet.
See?
Are you Fred's lawyer?
Jackie's going to sit there and be quiet
No, because I haven't read it, and I really wish I had, because...
Jackie's in heaven.
I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
You think people don't understand you. You have no idea. You should step outside your apartment once in a while.
You sit around trying to undermine everybody else on the step, but you have no effect on me and Fred. Now this has all happened without your help.
That's right.
Undermining the staff.
You undermined again, even in the book. You bastard. You ruined my relationship with Robin and Fred.
Here I go.
Well, how's that for a book, huh? Did I deliver the goods?
Hope you sell a lot of them.
Thank you, man.
Good. Thanks.
Thank you. Oh, please.
please.
Fastest selling book in history.
Mhm.
She laughs.
That's okay.
He's a dog.
At least you have a human trait.
I love you, Freddie. And I love you, Robin. And I love Jackie, I don't love.
It doesn't say that in the
You know
book,
what?
man.
I said to myself after reading my section, I said, if he didn't say he loved me, I wouldn't know.
I'll be quiet. You are such an ingrate.
No way to tell.
Yeah. Fred might have a point. You don't.
I know I do.
You don't have any point,
My
Fred.
wife will never sleep with me again.
Yeah, well, believe me, she's not sleeping with you now, so why should she sleep with you? She's busy with Tony and Tina's wedding. And I should have written that in the book, how I got your wife a job. But I was too kind.
No, you should have. That would have been fine.
That'll be in the paperback.
No, that would be in my book.
The Fred Norris book. I'd like to read that. I don't mind reading that.
Yeah.
Years of friendship.
Yeah.
Down the drain.
So what? Makes for good reading.
Hey, you
Yeah,
know,
we make-
that
you got-
was a sacrifice, but I guess you felt it was well
there you
worth
go.
it.
Of course I did. And
pulling
it's
the
a fast
ripcord,
read.
wasn't
You know what, Fred? I'll make you this promise. If I ever write anything again, whether it's a column or a joke or anything, I'll leave you out of it. How's that? Okay? No one can please you, Fred.
You know what it is, man? You can't take the criticism. As you criticize me.
Oh, I love the criticism. You can go on another hour. I'm selling books.
You know.
Who's not going to run out and buy it now?
Okay, fine.
Criticize all you want.
I'm glad for you.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad for you.
At least we should be able to say this.
I'm allowing it.
We can't argue in front of everybody who's going to be reading it.
Right. Well, you had your rebuttal time. As if you deserved one.
Right, true.
Anyway, let me move
Well,
on.
thank you for allowing us this time.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. And stop your barking.
Fred wants to hump your leg.
And in the last book I wrote about Fred, how remember when Robin, we brought Fred in to Washington and we went up 2 full points. Fred did the trick. It's all, I never got a thank you for that from Fred. No, he never got any credit. That's right. No credit at all.
You're not looking at the picture the way it's presented.
No credit at all.
See, now you're trying to manipulate it.
And during the Jackie section, I wrote that. No, I'm not manipulating anything. I'm just. I know. No, Fred.
How would you have to defend yourself?
That's right.
That you feel that you presented the entire picture.
No, I didn't say that.
This is how you felt you could do this and tell people that Fred is a talented and integral part of the show.
No, here's what Fred wants in the book. You ready? Fred Norris is so incredible.
You don't know what I want in a book, man. You don't know. It's like
So why don't you do me a favor? I'm going to give you an assignment because you're such an energetic guy, and you're anxious to make yourself known.
Now the truth comes out.
There you go.
You ask me.
Mr. Energy, why don't you go home tonight and write what you feel, and I will read it on the air. You write what you feel should be said about you. Please.
How could he write what you
He
should have
can't
said
because
about
he's
it?
busy. He's busy doing other things. Certainly not writing bits for me.
That's what you wrote in the book.
That's right. I give you.
Want to look at that?
Thank you. Thank you.
Scumbag.
Ooh.
That was really.
See, now it's ridiculous. He has never called you a name in the entire history of the show.
Oh, I've been very bad to Fred.
That hurt.
I'm a bad guy.
No, because
I'm a bad guy, Fred.
Howard.
That's right. I'm a bad guy.
You can. You know what it is? Is you're so defensive. You want to push the buttons.
Oh, that's all right. That's fine.
You know what he does, Fred, though?
Oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Robin.
And then he feigns
Nah.
hurt feelings
and then
to make you feel
Fire
bad
him up,
about...
Robin.
Exactly.
Because you did the same thing to me.
Thanks, partner.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I'm such a great partner.
Fred's lawyer. Fred can't. So what are you saying? Fred can't speak for himself. You're his lawyer.
Oh dear, here we
Marsha
go.
Clark is here.
Here we
There's
go.
Marsha Clark.
See, you know we're all fighting.
Marsha
we're all
Clark.
fighting.
I'm not
Aren't you
fighting.
Happy? We're
I'm
all
happy
fighting.
with what I've said.
And I know you're fighting with me.
Not fighting with
saying,
you.
Don't talk to Fred.
Marsha Clark.
Shut up. Be
I'm
quiet.
trying-
I'm talking to Fred now.
It's just that I'm talking to Fred, and you're not allowing us to talk. You keep monopolizing the conversation.
Well, you don't allow me to talk either. So.
Well, that's my prerogative, isn't it? See what? You're my lawyer.
Dropping that on the whole building.
That's right. Drop
Yeah,
it.
just sit over there and enjoy, Jackie.
Oh, shut up.
Jackie, undermining bastard.
Look at him. He's wanted this for years, to
Right.
see us all fighting with each other.
You really are a jerk. That was from my heart.
He meant that.
Well, you cheered me up. Howard said you do that.
Yeah.
You just cheered me up.
I see the two of you back there, so coquettish. I see what goes on.
Just because I want to bang her.
You just cheered me up.
I told you you wouldn't agree with my theory on Jackie.
I agree that you were right.
I don't think that's a nasty thing to say. You might disagree with it, but I don't think it's nasty.
I didn't say it was nasty.
Yeah.
It's just
my theory.
Not true. Has no validity.
You don't think that Jackie adds a lightness to you?
No.
You don't at all. You don't feel
No.
Jackie has any effect on you.
What is my true opinion of Jackie? What do I say to you about Jackie?
That Jackie
behind
should be
closed
fired.
Doors? So how could he be lightening me up?
I don't know.
I mean, make sense.
Well, I wasn't going to write that you wanted Jackie fired. Why would I do that to you?
Sitting there, I said, the one conversation we have every year.
Imagine if I put in the book, Robin wants Jackie fired. Imagine I put that in the book. You can't win.
Everybody fired.
She doesn't want you fired.
She did want me fired once.
That's
not true.
NBC. I heard through the grapevine.
You are insane.
I swear.
You know what? Now you've cracked.
No.
Now I've lost your mind.
You have lost.
Someone told me that.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
I was in a position to get anybody fired. What is he talking about?
She has never in her life ever said to me, Fred should be fired.
That's what someone
only has said good things about
it.
it.
Why you hold this resentment toward me? Why
Robin,
would you ever say it?
I don't resent you at all.
She might think you're lazy, but she doesn't think you should be fired.
I never said that.
I'm under attack.
I don't resent you. Yeah, you're desperate, man. You're drowning.
Woohoo,
well, you're
boy.
drowning.
You know what?
Now you're attacking Robin.
Now I want to put on gloves
it's
and let
true
us all just go at it.
it's true that Robin didn't say anything about you in her book that was, anything about you at all, really. But
I did.
There's no reason to say that she wanted you fired.
I'm just
I even talked about the time I once yelled at Fred, and I felt very bad about it.
You did feel bad? You told me you felt good about it.
You know what? That's it.
That's all right.
Let's all get bats and go at it.
Go ahead, Gary.
John and I are sitting out there. We're sort of surprised. Oh, by the way, Robin, you did try to have me fired once. That we know.
No. Well,
I never tried to have me fired.
When did you try to have him fired?
Here we go again.
When we first got to...
Everybody thinks you're having them fired.
I know.
The only guy Robin thinks should be gone from the show is Jackie.
No.
And I'm willing to stand by that.
I mean, who would I be talking about? I'd be talking to Howard,
Okay,
right?
I shouldn't say that you wanted to have me fired, but you did express to Howard that you felt I was doing a subpar job. When
I do that a lot.
I know.
She does that on the air.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Anything I said about Fred, I said on the air.
Well, why did you want me fired? I'm intrigued.
Why?
It
was never that I wanted him fired.
She just doesn't feel you're a team player. Am I right?
It's usually about contracts.
Right.
And I go, why are you bothering?
Yeah. You're right.
Because I asked for more money and stand up for myself.
No, that's what she's saying.
It has nothing to do with that.
It's the way you do it. But you don't see that because, Jackie, it's all right. Don't get into it because
I'm into it. I'm deep into
because this is not the point of the conversation. The point is, what does BabaBooey say?
No. Wait, hold on. I'm coming back.
This is not an attack. Listen, let's clear the air.
It has nothing to do with your talent, your skill, or anything.
Here's the bottom line.
The point
Fred is in love with me, and it doesn't make a difference what he's saying on the air right now. He knows that is positive. Deep down inside, he knows it.
Howard,
because Fred has been my friend for a long time, and Fred and I have a great working relationship, and I write that in the book.
I have been your friend no matter how painful it has been at times.
I'll mellow out. You think I care if you make a pouch in your food? It upsets Robin. That's why I'm upset. She feels it's unprofessional.
You know what? This is exactly why I had a problem. I get to be the bitch.
Yes.
I'm the bitch.
Please, and continue to be it, because I'll be in big trouble. I have to sit in the room with Fred. You're at least in another room.
The point that I was trying to make when I walked in, I got a little bit off. John and I were talking.
Oh, now you're making points?
No, John and I were just saying to Fred and to all you guys that are upset, Howard goose on us on the air every day, and he's done, the pouch jokes about you, and he does the whole thing about you.
That's not even the point.
No, but
I'm always careful to say that Fred's a talented guy.
Did you ever expect that what was going to be written in the book would be any different?
I would ignore that.
No, did you think it would be...
Who can ignore a pouch of food in a grown man?
I guess what it is...
It's like a squirrel.
I'll tell you what it is. It's like the fact that it's like...
So, Fred, you have your assignment.
Like 95% of the material... Actually, make a correction.
Oh, your pouch.
99% of the material...
It's a comedy book, Fred. Lighten up.
Howard, I know it.
But Howard,
maybe one chunk...
Are you insane? Did I just read you? You're one of the most talented guys I ever met. I would have met you 20 years ago, I'm writing about.
It is in the Bramble book.
Oh, Bramble your ass.
But Freddie,
I'll sit and write 50 pages on how talented Fred is. People are interested in that. They're interested in the comedy aspect of you.
You asked for my opinion.
You were mean and vicious. You can't handle it.
Robin, that's not true.
You were vicious.
Saying a guy has a pouch in his mouth is not vicious.
Well, Howard, the point I'm trying to make is...
Vicious would have been to say that the truth about Fred.
But Freddie just made an accurate point.
Yes.
If you think that 95% of what Howard said in the book was negative, is that ratio any different than what he does on the air?
It's
In other words,
not-
Excuse me, that's a question to Fred.
Oh, right.
Thank you.
No, but I'm not.
Fred's having trouble
I'm just saying-
articulating.
I know.
the problem.
You're
I know
articulating for Fred.
exactly.
He's that way to all of us on the air. In fact, I got more compliments in the book than I get on the air.
You know what, Gary?
I think everybody
Fred
gets
is
more.
not you.
Right.
Excuse me, why is Fred not allowed to answer? Why are you stopping Fred
I'm
from
talking
answering?
for actually, Robin. I'm talking for all of us. Howard treated Howard treated us all in the book. the way he
Let
treated
Fred
us.
answer.
Forget it.
Oh, please. You know what, Fred? Sorry you don't like what I wrote. I thought it was very funny.
Okay, well, I'm
No,
glad.
there's nothing to answer.
I know
I've
you were-
already
I know
read you
it was
what I
funny.
wrote. I mean, you couldn't say anything more talented.
I guess I was looking
My
for something
assessment
a little
of
more
Fred.
appreciative.
Fred is not sitting there because I like him. He's sitting there because he's super talented. That's number one. Anybody who earned a position on this show, that goes for Robin,
But I don't think, I don't think
That
I
doesn't
really
come
don't
through
think
in
that's
the book.
coming through
That
in the
doesn't
book.
come through
I
in the
honestly,
book.
Yeah. You want to know something,
I'm
Fred?
being square honest with
Fred,
you.
I think most of the audience can put that together.
You think?
Oh, I don't think
get
so.
it. I don't think
No?
that.
Oh, you're sitting here because you eat with a pouch. Good thinking.
Hey, man, you know, like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, but they don't know.
Oh, and they don't know that you're the most talented voice guy that I wrote in the book. They ignore that part. Oh, I see. I have you here because you eat with a pouch.
It's not.
You
fair.
are retarded.
See, you're-
You know what? I'm right about you. You should take that shovel and dig
Is he
yourself a
normal?
grave.
I want to know, is he normal
Howard,
or were you
No,
lying?
I was lying.
What?
I was lying.
What?
You're not normal. I thought you were the most normal on the show,
Okay.
but you're not.
Okay, Howard, you're entitled. You're entitled to your opinion.
All right. Can I do this now? We've discussed your reaction to the book.
I don't
Robin's
feel- I don't
reaction
feel
and your
fulfilled.
reaction.
I don't feel
Jackie
fulfilled.
started in with some reaction.
I
But
don't think there's any way to resolve this, Fred. It's in print.
that's right.
Yeah.
It is not resolved.
No.
You have to live with it.
I certainly
That's
do.
it.
But you
So
know what
this
it
is my
It's like-
evaluation
but
of you.
but
It's a comedy
You know what it is?
evaluation. Yes.
You never necessarily hear it off the air, and then when you see it in print, it makes it even.
I see.
But he understood Jackie. That was the thing that really got
Right.
me.
I understand
He
Jackie.
understood Jackie. How
Jackie
hard
is
it
easy to
for
understand.
Jackie.
It is hard for Jackie.
Hard for Jackie.
I'm officially not speaking the quiver.
Is that right?
That's the nicest thing you've
You
ever
can
done
kiss
for
my
me.
big black ass.
Look what you did. Look what you did,
brother,
Paul.
man.
Look what happened.
And what do I say in the book? I love watching everybody fight with one another.
What did you say? What
I
did you
know what
live
was
for
the
this.
best
Hitler
quote?
Youth.
The Hitler Youth.
Yeah.
The best thing in my
And there's a big
section
picture of me
was,
as Hitler.
was a quote about how we never hang out with each other because that might cause us to become friends. Any
You
of
said
us.
that.
And I thought that was a good quote.
Contribution.
No, the
Did
more
you see that
scabs.
quote?
I made the book.
No, the more scabs, the better. And that's absolutely true.
Yeah, we bond. You know, if you get together, you
Oh,
might be
you and your
so-
impression.
I couldn't get through BabaBooey.
So you got it right though, because Robin hates her section, but Jackie's section's a riot.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, listen.
It's not funny. I didn't say it was funny. I was upset that he was so understanding of Jackie. He doesn't understand me. He doesn't understand Fred. He understands
She's
Jackie.
logical.
Just trying to figure you out.
She's right on a good keel.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Full steam ahead.
as you can see, anytime one of us writes a book,
Right
it causes
under the iceberg.
controversy.
There you go.
And we all do the best. You know what? On my defense, and Robin, any criticism that people had of your book, neither one of us are real writers. So we write. In fact, I ran my book through what is called the Kincaid-Fletch test, which rates you on what level you write. And I write on the 7th grade level. So maybe who knows what? Who knows what?
Maybe what you meant to say isn't wrong.
That's right. But I think I said was very nice. But and Fred, certainly anything I wrote
And you know this idea that
trying to be humorous and
Judith
engaging.
Howard, I
cut
do
everything
understand
that
but I
was
was
good.
looking for some kind of validation.
Well,
and
I
it-
do.
it was
Well,
not
I'll tell you what the
forthcoming.
validation is. How long have you been sitting in that chair, working those machines and
I don't know,
writing
but
for
every
me?
other day you also see you hate me and you wish
I
I'd
see.
die. so
Well,
it's
of course. But how long have you been in that chair?
Since 1981.
Okay. There's your validation.
There you go.
I can't give you any more validation than
Okay.
that.
But that doesn't come
How long has Al Rosenberg been with the show?
but that
Excuse me.
doesn't-
How long has Al Rosenberg been with the show?
He was with the show for 3 years.
Okay. How long was our friend from Washington with the show? About 2 days? All right.
Something like that.
How come a certain other person is no longer with the show who I just couldn't care less about?
That
Think
I
about
don't
it.
know.
You don't know?
I haven't
Think about it
discussed that
tonight.
with you.
When you sit and you can read the chapter again and think about it. That's your validation.
Try to get over it with that
Yeah.
in mind.
Get over it with that. That's my tonic. What is that?
You know what I can't
And with that, I'll
understand?
turn off your
I'm
mic.
with Robin on one thing, though.
Yeah.
And Jackie's going to hate me, too. Why do you understand
Yeah,
him?
that's the thing. It would have been bad enough. You know, it might not have even mattered
Yeah.
if you didn't understand him.
I don't
I can understand you
What's
not
with him?
understanding.
When
me.
did he even come to the
When is he the
No,
enemy?
he's not the enemy. He's not the
It's
enemy.
just that how
It's like,
could I mean
you-
we're your
understand
loyal
one thing,
buddies.
Jack.
Jackie got,
You're the-
please.
you're the buddy.
You got, Robin, I'm not even going to address you because, yes, it's true you are my loyal buddy. And that what I wrote has been described by others as a love letter, and I'm not. That is all I'm going to say. You are not allowed to talk about it anymore.
Would describe it that way.
Yes.
Because they don't know me.
Well.
And they're taking your word for everything.
Now, as people took your word for me on your book. Now.
Everybody said that was a love letter.
Not in circles that I travel.
Right. Sure.
Now.
Sure. What circles do you travel in?
Pretty low ones. Pretty low ones. Circles you would not want to travel in. They're not horseback riders. Now, let me tell you something.
Everybody said to me they gained a new appreciation of Howard as a human being from my book. But no.
See, those are the people who talk to you and are afraid to tell you what they thought.
I learned things about Howard that I never knew before.
Yeah, exactly. Things that I didn't necessarily want brought out.
No, but I also appreciate
Well, I certainly appreciate what you... Is that to get back at me what you wrote?
No, I thought that I took the high road.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you. But
I wrote bad things about you.
I'm no longer heard about it.
I
got over it.
What bad things did I write about you? I wrote that you saved my life.
I didn't want that known.
So sorry.
That's bad for my image.
You did.
Right. Jackie's just mad at me for saving your life.
See? Something had to come out of that.
And Fred.
What's that, my friend?
In line with what Robin just said, I saved your life.
Oh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Actually, Gary.
No, excuse me, Fred. Fred, look at me. I gave you life.
Actually, Gary did.
All right.
He called 911.
I just, you know what, I expected the worst and got it for me. That's, that's what I expected.
And you deserved it.
No, but I didn't expect it.
Oh, please, it was a comedy glowing thing, and I talked about it, what a great producer you were. That's all that matters.
Three
Good
lines,
point.
but that's okay.
3 lines is enough.
The few people, how many people
more lines
say
than you'll
nice
get today.
things about you? How many people care? How many people see you as a talented
you have no
genius?
Jackie.
And our thanks, Fred.
Yeah. Robin, don't throw yourself in with Fred. Stop being his lawyer, okay? Give me a break. All right?
Is that glowing tribute?
If I did anything nice for you, stop being his lawyer. Okay?
Fred and I will be fine. You know that.
Well, I know
What's
that.
the problem? What's the problem?
Problem is, I need to sell more books right now. No, Fred.
What, my friend?
Too bad.
I know. That's the general attitude around here.
And Jackie, F you.
That's the beginning of the chapter. Yep.
That's right. And then also the end.
F you too.
Oh, Jackie came in this morning on fire. He was like, F Jackie. F Jackie. Now he's happy because you're upset. You don't understand.
He rebels in my misery.
This is saving my misery from Jackie.
He rebels in my misery.
Right.
He rebels in
That's not true. Not even a little.
Okay.
Like to see me boil in the pot.
I love it. Oh, I love it.
Listen, Jackie hates you, Fred. I love you.
I know that.
Jackie's the first guy to come in. Why? I don't care what Fred makes. And hey, I don't care if you fire Fred. Give me what he makes. Then if you got to get the money together that way, get it together that way.
There's a conversation that's taking place.
And I defend you every time, pal. I wasn't going to write that in the book.
Good, thank you.
I don't want to
for
upset
covering
anybody.
me for saying something like that.
That would have been an eye-opener.
All right, listen. Welcome to our show.
Welcome to our nightmare.
And Pittsburgh, welcome to our show. I'm sure they understand what's going on. They know they get these mental patients on the air arguing with one another. We're not your typical morning show.
No. But the loud
I did an interview with a guy from New York Magazine yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to die because your throat is so sore after doing 5 hours on the air, and then you're doing these interviews.
Yeah.
Then today I got Entertainment Tonight. Oh, 2020 airs this Friday night, by the way.
Oh, it does?
And
Okay.
it looks like it's going to be a real great piece.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, Fred, you won't be so upset on Friday.
Why
I don't
do
know.
you say
Someone
that?
said, because somebody read, I read on the internet that somebody saw a promo for it, and it was like, I brought in a whole bunch of this stuff, and I got a whole bunch of news reports and things to play, but this guy says that they're running promos for the 2020 thing, and they just show me, like in close-up,
Like
and
a
John,
big face
yeah,
on a
yeah,
screen?
and John Stossel is saying, would you let your children listen to your show? And I go, no, absolutely not.
Oh,
And you know what the guy said on the internet? And he's right. He says, you know what? I don't need to watch the 2020 piece. Why don't I just go watch my rerun of Dateline? Because it's the same question they ask on there. I'm telling you, it's going to be a piece attacking
Or
me.
that NBC piece, the Kuiken one.
So you're not the only one getting attacked, Fred. I'll be attacked on Friday.
When that happens, I really do feel bad for you because you don't deserve it.
Yeah, neither do you. I hate the guy who does that to you.
deserve you, and
Right.
you don't
But you're
deserve
the guy
us.
that's doing it to me.
Come and give me a hug, you little bastard. You dog. Come here and wag your tail.
Go over there and hump his leg.
Hump my leg, you stupid bastard.
You could hit him with a sledgehammer, he'd still take a bullet for you.
Oh, shut up, Jackie.
There you go. That's the man you understand.
Jackie, why don't you write a book?
Understand.
Then how come when
I'll
he
write a book.
All right, why don't you write a book?
That's the man you understand.
You write a book, you're fired, Jackie.
It's going on the internet.
Wouldn't we love that right away?
Oh, that's why I'm giving Fred the opportunity to write his own chapter. I will take out. How's this? How's this for Fred? In the paperback, I'll take out your chapter. I'll put yours in, the one you want.
Okay.
All right. There you go.
Oh, there's no need for that. Just put Fred's in too.
I'm not doing that.
I didn't think there was that.
You write it, and I'll read it on the air. How's that?
There you go. Have Judith edit it and have her put some mean things in there too.
No, I can't blame Judith. I wrote that.
Yeah, Miss Sunshine.
I
taking care of us all.
Yeah.
She's not Miss Black Hole.
Why don't we take a break? Obviously, everyone's had a rough morning, especially Fred and Robin, too. Obviously not Jackie. Nothing bothers
No,
him.
Jackie is fine.
Fine.
Everything rolls off.
And if you want Jackie fired, then so be it, Robin. We'll take care
I
of
have
it.
never said, see, there's a misnomer. I have never said fire, Jackie. I have said, why negotiate?
Wait, let's not start this again.
No, screw the commercial. You
Why
just said
do you do that?
Shut up.
Right.
You just said you had that conversation every year.
Every year we
to
do.
fire me.
It's the truth.
And now you're
It's
backpedaling?
not to fire you, it's to let you go.
Listen, Robin, you're on fire this morning.
Oh, man.
Everybody calm down.
All right.
I'm getting heart palpitations.
All right.
I mean, we're all being so honest.
Jeez. All right. It's just comedy. It's jokes. Everybody mellow out. Jackie, she's kidding.
Make sure you come running in here giggling during the
I'm
spot.
going to come in to tell you I love you.
I tried
And
that
she's
with
gonna
you
hug you.
yesterday and you spit on me.
All right. Why don't we take a break? Obviously, the show is metamorphosizing into something very warped as a result of my new book.
It's got a Sudaped now.
It's changed.
Right. No, it's just got more interesting. It's morphing into something horrible.
It's getting ugly.
It is getting ugly. All right. Why don't we take a break? Let's see if you hug Jackie, I'll hug Fred. All right. Then I'll hug you and you hug me. All right.
I'll
We'll
hug
be
her
back
after
with it.
you hug him because he's a homophobe and he won't let you.
He is a homophobe.
True.
Well, we'll have to see.
Fred, you are a homophobe.
Okay, if you say so.
Remember that night we were together and you were afraid to get him dressed in front of
How you
me?
can screw that as homophobic?
You were afraid I was going to come on to you. I know it. I read it in your eyes.
Not even close.
All right.
Not even close.
You were ashamed of your own body.
Go hug him,
I am very modest.
Go give him a hug.
I really am.
He doesn't have to hug me. He's not in any mood to hug me.
I'm hoping he'll hurt you.
He's going to give you one.
And him and that wife that I found her a romance and I found her life and I got her an acting career, she's probably egging him on.
No, she's not.
Oh, yes, she is.
Actually, no.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get a hold of her.
Egging him on
No,
to do
she's
what?
not.
About this?
Oh, of course.
No, she's never egged me on about
She doesn't understand comedy like you and I do.
Never egged me on about
All right. She's not the geniuses that we are.
You definitely are a genius.
Well, thank you. I write that in the book several
Fred
times.
will say that even in his anger.
Even in my anger, I must admit that.
Thank you, Fred. And I admit that about you.
I'm a dog.
That's what I admit about
You're
you.
very smart for a dog.
You're a talking dog.
There you go. Oh, man. I mean, to this day, man, it's like...
You're upsetting Jackie.
It's like...
You know how I love
fetch
Jackie. I don't want it
records and
upset.
I'm a dog.
All right, let's take a break. Jackie, I'm sorry if any of this upset you.
This whole dog thing I've never heard before. I don't understand what that
It was
You
a
have to
joke.
read the book.
I said, Fred, wait a second. I'm going to read that part right now on the air. I demand that I read that on the air. I'm going to allow myself to read that on the air. I don't normally read my own book on the air because, quite frankly, I think you should have to go out and buy it. Just as no one could explain why the dog chose man, no one could explain why Fred chose Howard and why Howard chose Fred. Fred was an ally. Oh, that's a horrible thing to say, Fred. How dare you? I want an apology.
Mother dear.
How dare you? Oh, suddenly, I read the whole thing, Robin. Didn't sound too bad, did it?
It was pretty bad.
Oh, Robin, tell the truth. You've always been honest.
I'm telling you,
Robin,
you have
you
to
are
read
obnoxious.
This relentless...
Hold on. Is that the extent of
Yeah,
the dog analogy?
that was the dog
But
analogy.
it's on...
Oh, you know, Jackie,
No, I'm just asking a question.
that is the extent. She will not admit it.
He's called me a mental patient. He's called me a Martian.
I called me a dog and you a dog.
He's called me a dog.
If you're a dog, then I'm a dog. Hello, look at me.
The only reason I've kept around is
Hey,
because I
mental
fed
case.
Schmeckers.
Look at me, Schmecker.
Schmecker? What's a Schmecker?
He just said Schmecker.
I like that.
Hey, look at me.
What?
I said you were a dog and I was a dog. We were drawn to each other. Now, I didn't call you a dog and me a
For
man.
no apparent reason.
That's right. All right. Good night, everybody. You know what? Screw you all. I'm taking